yards. He rambled. Toby going to kick it off. And it's high and headed for Terrence Wilkins. And watch out for this guy. He's dangerous. Wilkins to the 30. Out of bounds at about the 35. Let's have a look at that Indianapolis offense. Led by Peyton Manning. A star already and headed for superstar days. The offensive line, Glenn, McKinney, Moore, Jackson, and Meadows. Very young and very smart. James, Wilkins, Harrison, Pollard, and Dilger will handle the ball for the Colts. Peyton Manning. 13 touchdown passes already this year. And he is the real thing. Back to throw is Manning. Screen pass underneath. Edgerrin James. Greg Ellis tripped him up. And let's look at the Dallas defense. Pittman and Ellis the ends. Alonzo Spellman and Chad Hennings both enjoying great years in the middle. Coakley, Godfrey, and Hambrick the linebackers. And the secondary, Deion Sanders, Kevin Smith, the cornerbacks, Izell Reese, and Darren Woodson. Kenny Wheaton gets some playing time when they go in a long yardage situation.
And Deion Sanders isn't on Marvin Harrison on this play.
Manning gets it outside to James, and James is hit hard behind the line of scrimmage. First there was Randall Godfrey. Another in that defensive unit playing very well.
Yeah, that has great speed. I mean, that's the thing. Randall Godfrey was an outside linebacker. They moved him to the middle. And all these guys have great speed. And the minute that they see or feel something, they can get right to it. They're very good tacklers and almost have the same speed as the running back does.
So it's 3rd and 9.
Look at this alignment out here.
A little stack up receiver job. 3 wideouts they go this time. And Manning goes deep. Too deep. Intended for Wilkins. And over his head, out of his reach.
Yeah, and that Terrence Wilkins can run, and you know that they have confidence in him because he was on Deion Sanders. They were going to test Deion Sanders. We thought it would be Marvin Harrison. They put Wilkins over there on that side, a guy with great speed, and of course Deion Sanders just ran stride for stride with him.
And Sanders back to return the punt, and he attracts some attention. Hunter Smith will do the punting for Indianapolis.
Deion's about as fired up on one of these things as he gets.
Smith's punt goes line drive to Sanders. He'll have a chance to work with this one. And Deion steps up and steps out, and there he goes. All I need to do is see the punter, and I'm gone, and he's got the punter in sight. And the punter takes him down at the 2.
He told us yesterday if he ever sees the punter, he knows that it's a touchdown. That time it was Hunter Smith, the punter, and he tackled him, but there was still a great return by Deion Sanders. It was a bad punt by Hunter Smith because he gave him a line drive, and like you said, the ball's a line drive and bounce. And if you see when Deion catches it, he has a 10-point gap there to make the first guy miss. Then he makes the second guy miss. Then he finds a seam right there. Then he sees the punter, and he said, if I can make eye contact with the punter, I know it's a touchdown. He made eye contact with the punter, and the punter ran him down.
He looked like he just ran out of gas.
Either that or he started his celebration a little too soon.
1st and goal at the 2 for the Cowboys.
It was still a heck of a play, though. And, of course, it gives the Cowboys great field position here.
That was Michael Irvin. He was just hugging. There's Emmitt Smith burrowing down. Touchdown, the Cowboys for the first play from scrimmage. They lead at 6-0 already.
And they know exactly what to do. They get down there in their goal line. They're going to give it to Emmitt Smith. They're going to get right in there behind Larry Allen, and they're going to make movement down there. You see, it's going to be right in here. See, they get the double lead there. Larry Allen gets his guy going back. Big Flozell Adams, he takes a couple with him, and they get that whole left side going back in the end zone.
And they have a new fullback, Robert Thomas, who also did an excellent job.
I mean, they can create some power on that one side.
That was Emmitt Smith's 132nd rushing touchdown. 8 straight games he has scored. Right now for an update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Pat and John with 21. John, Matt.
Those Saints can find a lot of different ways to lose, can't they?
Congratulations to the Cleveland Browns with their first win. And I'm sure everyone wants to see now what Mike Ditka's press conference is going to be like. Whew.
I wouldn't want to be too close to it.
No, you'd want to be about 10 yards away, about as far away as that first wave was from Deion Sanders when he caught that line drive punt. I'll tell you, he's such a dimension now. I mean, Deion Sanders is probably the most dominant player in football. I mean, you know that he can take away a field, and look at these moves that he makes to get free. I mean, he just doesn't run free. I mean, he makes himself get free. He has a few blocks and lets his speed do it.
Toby going to kick off to Terrence Wilkins at the goal line, maybe about the 1, and Wilkins gets up to the 30. He's exciting. Before the game, as of course you know, the anthem is played or sung, and here is before the game.
And the home of the brave.
4 years old, no notes, just a teddy bear.
And his hat in his hand. That was something. I'll tell you, that was one of the loudest ovations when he finished that national anthem that I've heard in the stadium in a long time.
Yep. First and 10 at the 31. Excuse me, Joe.
Those kids are out trick-or-treating, and he's out here singing the national anthem. Deion Sanders isn't in on this series, Pat.
James goes straight ahead. Deion ran out of oxygen, I guess.
Yeah, and he's replacing it now. What is oxygen? O2?
I think so.
Yeah, he got to get some O2 in there, and you can see that he's trying to replace that he used on that. Because that's the problem with being a punt returner and a defensive player, is you go right from playing defense. And remember, the last defensive play was that up that he had to cover.
Yep.
Then he returned the punt.
Charlie Williams has taken his place. Here's James again. First down, Colts. He's the only running back that's carried the ball this year for the Indianapolis Colts.
They say that the Colts are being built a lot like the Cowboys were. Remember when Troy Aikman was young, and Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith, as they would Edgerrin James and Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning, that they're the same type of thing, and you can see that. I mean, Edgerrin James is a real deal. Marvin Harrison is a real deal. Peyton Manning is a real deal.
There's Peyton Manning outside to James. Godfrey again.
But this Cowboy defense really does. They're very aggressive, and they really do pursue and gang tackle well. And Peyton Manning was telling us the other day that one of the things that he wants to do is to throw the ball more to James. I mean, he thinks that Edgerrin James can not only be a good running back in this league, but can be an every down player and a real good receiver. And they want to use more of that in today's game.
Well, when you give up a Marshall Faulk, you better have some high hopes for whoever replaces him. Here's James. Behind the line, fumble. The Cowboys swarm around, and they're saying we have it, but I'm not sure.
That was one of the things they do worry about James. Not only the fumbling, but the slow start. He has a pretty good second quarters and third quarters and fourth quarters, and he has very poor play in the first quarters.
Greg Ellis hit James, knocked the ball loose.
That's the thing that'll get you on that side, is penetration. And you see, I think the ball started to come out, Pat, before Ellis ever got there.
I think so too.
I think as he put it to his right side, the ball just starts to slide out.
See, it starts got
to
a hand
slide.
in there.
Yep, he did have a hand in there.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11.
But that's the thing that will get you, is that penetration on that side, and Greg Ellis got the penetration on that side.
3rd and 13, shotgun formation for Peyton Manning and the Colts. 3 wide receivers. outside James again. Not enough for a first.
Now that's part of it.
He fumbled again. But the Colts have the ball.
That's part of their plan today, is again to get the ball in the hands of James, and he does. The last 2 times he had the ball, he fumbled. That ball went out of bounds, and of course, once it hits that sideline, you cannot bring it in. But I think the plan of not throwing to James, or throwing to James, that they better change off of that and start throwing to their receivers. And
Jeff Ogden back in place of Deion Sanders, who's still out.
I'll tell you, that took a heck of a lot of oxygen out of Deion Sanders, didn't it? But I think part of it was covering Terrence Wilkins on the up on the play before that, and then the return, the combination of those 2 things. In fact, he still looks like he's a little woozy from you know, not only a lack of oxygen, but he looks a little woozy. Remember that hit that he took last week against the Redskins?
The kick is blocked by Hunter Smith. Blocked by the Cowboys, who have the ball at the Colt 24-yard line.
And then there's going to be another 15 yards against them. Against the Colts, that is.
An extracurricular.
Yeah, that was Tito Wooten.
Yep, a nudge.
Yeah, Tito Wooten came up and he threw a punch. Let's see the block here. One, I don't think the ball ever got up. I mean, the ball was low, and the ball hits the hand before it ever gets up.
Hit Lemansky Hall, I think, or Hambrick, one of the 2.
They were the 2 that were there.
1st and 10, Cowboys at the Colt 25. Aikman drops to throw it to Rocket Ishmael. Let's look at the Dallas offense. They haven't had too much time on the field. Troy Aikman, the quarterback, 87 wins in the 90s, the most by anyone. Adams, Allen, Stepnoski, Everett McIver, who had the flu, and Eric Williams. Smith, Robert Thomas, the backs, Ishmael, Mills, and LaFleur, the receiver.
Yeah, I saw him throw a flag on that play, Pat, at the end of the play, and they didn't penalize him at all.
Here's Emmitt Smith, another flag down as Emmitt gets down close to the 10.
Because I saw at the end of the play, Tito Wooten threw a punch at a Cowboy, and a flag came out, and then they didn't penalize him.
Prior to the snap, false start.
False start against the Cowboys.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Here's the Colt defense now. They're young, as is the offense. Bratsky, the ex-Giant, Johnson, Whittington, and Sean King. The 3 linebackers, Peterson, Barber, and Cornelius Bennett. Longtime veteran. Tyrone Poole and Jeff Burris, the cornerbacks. Belcher and Cota, the safeties. 2nd and 8. Aikman to Smith. Smith inside the 15. That's near another 1st down for Dallas.
You know, and he gets right in behind Larry Allen again. That's a little draw block, and Larry Allen will start up. You see, and he'll start up to invite his guy to the outside. You see, here's Ellis Johnson, not a bad player here. And you see that Larry Allen is so strong that he just gets him turned and knocked right out of the hole. Then that creates the hole for Emmitt Smith to run in.
1st down, Cowboys at about the 12. Aikman gives again to Emmitt Smith, and this time Emmitt doesn't have much room. Ellis Johnson on the bottom of that pile.
Yeah, one of the things that the Colts were worried about, and Jim Moore had talked about, is one, that his defense really isn't good enough yet. I mean, that's the area that he still has to build in. And one, that they're not as good as he'd like to be, and 2, they're not as big as he'd like to be. And he worries about this physical mismatch that you can kind of see happening right here now already.
Ishmael goes to the right. Alvin Harper is wide left. Aikman in the direction of Harper, incomplete.
That was
Tyrone Poole.
That was good coverage by Tyrone Poole. Remember Tyrone Poole? We saw him when he played for Carolina against Jerry Rice. As he was a rookie, played a great game against Jerry Rice. Here he makes a play here, just jumps up, gets his right hand in, and knocks that ball out of Alvin Harper's hand.
3rd and 7.
Cowboys aren't getting in a shotgun here, so they don't have to use a silent count. They'll use a silent count in a shotgun.
And they give the ball to Emmitt Smith straight ahead, who won't get enough for a first, and we'll see the field goal unit headed on.
This is the approach that I don't like. Remember, this is the approach that they took against Philadelphia. This is the approach that they took against the Giants. The non-aggressive approach. 3rd down, you're closer. Go for the end zone again. Take a 3rd down shot.
You're already close enough for a field goal.
Yeah, and you have too many yards to make it on the run.
Right.
So it was kind of a give-up play, and I think that they're going to have to score some more points, because I still say the Colts can score points.
Richie Cunningham should make this one 4 out of 9 on the year. This would make him back up to 500 if he hits. And he hits. 10-0. Dallas leads. Next Sunday it's live bass fishing like you've never seen before. See the top anglers in the world go for over $3.5 million in prize money in the Ranger Boats M1 Millennium Tournament. Bass fishing comes alive next Sunday on Fox, presented by Walmart. Check your local listing. Now the people that get into bass fishing really get into it.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal. You have what? You have a cousin?
My cousin, yes.
Yeah, your cousin's in bass fishing.
And big time.
Just watch Larry Allen here. When he gets pushed back, then he falls on someone. How'd you like to be the guy down there? He's just on the ground, not bothering anyone, and big old Larry Allen comes and flops right on him.
We ought to keep that, because I don't think I've ever seen Larry Allen get pushed backward before.
Well, the play was over.
Yeah,
I didn't care. You know, and he knows enough, and he has enough poise, and he's a smart enough player that you don't do anything about those situations other than flop on some guy who's laying on the ground.
Most of all, you don't get him mad. Kickoff by Goins, sails down to Wilkins, who gets back to about the 18. And right now, for an update, let's return again to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Pat John's John.
So now there are no unbeaten teams in the NFL. Deion Sanders back in the game in the Cowboy defensive unit.
That St. Louis still has to be impressive fighting back, though, because I saw the beginning of that game, and they were down 21-0.
They got down 24-0. Here's Manning back to throw it. Fires up to his tight end, Dilger. First down. Up close to the 40. Like to welcome those of you who watched the Redskins get back on the scoring track and beat the Chicago Bears 48-22. Welcome to the Dome in Indianapolis, where the Cowboys lead Indianapolis 10-0.
6, 8, 10, 11.
5:50 left to play in the first quarter. Peyton Manning and the Colts on offense.
Marvin Harrison down on this bottom side, not against Deion Sanders.
Manning. Harrison. Not quite a first, or did he get far enough?
I think it's going to be right at the first, but it is a first down before that, so it doesn't make any difference. But you see, Kevin Smith is playing off a little. He's giving Marvin Harrison a cushion, so Harrison comes up like he's going to go deep, pushes him up, and then just stops and runs a hook pattern. But to get that open, you have to have great speed that Marvin Harrison does, and you have to sell that you're going to go deep.
And he did a good job of doing all that.
And you know, he's talking to Peyton Manning now, and they're probably talking about the next time they will go deep. I mean, he'll use that, you know, kind of hook and go, or an out and up, or a double move on Kevin Smith.
Well, the Cowboys had said that some of the time Deion Sanders will go with Harrison.
I think Deion Sanders is still tired.
I think he is,
I
too.
do. I mean, just looking at him out there in the field, I think he's still covering from that punt return.
Well, you know, he didn't have any training camp.
Yeah, and then he, you know, rehab that toe all the time. Couldn't do, you know, a lot of work, and then, you know, being in shape, to be in shape is one thing, be in a shape to play a lot of downs of football is another kind of shape.
And the only way to get in that kind of shape is to do it. I'd like to welcome those of you. We were just talking about St. Louis losing to Tennessee. Welcome to those of you who watched that game to the Dome in Indianapolis. The Cowboys lead the Colts 10-0. We're in the first quarter. James straight ahead for the first down. Some of the earlier games, St. Louis loses to Tennessee. So now there are no remaining undefeated teams. Steve McNair returned and had 2 touchdown passes and scored 1 on the ground himself. And the Cleveland Browns got their first win. Their first win as an expansion team as they beat New Orleans. Manning back to throw and throws across the middle. That's Terrence Wilkins coming across on the other side.
Yeah, Terrence Wilkins was lined up on Dion, and one of the things that they thought that they can get on Dion is they can come here and run across and get that. He's hard to get it up. He's hard to get a post, but you can't come across here because at a point he's going to let you go. And at that thing, I don't know, maybe the point that Dion let him go was right there at the end, but this is one of the things that they feel, and I've always felt, there's if anything you can get on Deion Sanders, it's a crossing pattern.
They have Wilkins out on Dion again, and Harrison's to the right. James near the 30 in Cowboy territory. Stopped by Godfrey.
You know, Deion Sanders, Pat, I think is just taking himself out. I think he's walking off. I'm looking at it right now. I know he's walking off the field, but I saw him after that play, after running on that cross again. There's something wrong with him other than just being tired.
Well, that shows you right there.
You remember the concussion he had last week too, and you know, and he got really whiplashed on that thing and didn't remember anything for about a half. Came back in the game, probably shouldn't have. And then I don't know, you don't know what's going on now. It's more than tired.
Manning gets it to Wilkins. He was almost hit just as he let it go.
He was whipsawed.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, Peyton Manning, because he gets rid of the ball so quickly, he's only been sacked 3 times. But a lot of that isn't his offensive line. A lot of that is him just getting rid of the ball quickly.
3rd down and about 2, we'll call it. They need to get to that yellow line, which they can't see, but you can. A stacked deck out there, and here comes Harrison in motion. Wilkins. The ball is batted away by Kavika Pittman. Nobody blocked him.
Yeah, that's a tough one when you have to throw to the side where the free guy is coming. You see Peyton Manning comes now. He has to throw to that side, and Kavika Pittman knows that if you're not going to get to the guy, you just stop and go up in the air and you take his lane away from him. And Kavika did that perfectly.
Mike Vanderjagt to try for the field goal with Steve Walsh holding. Plenty long enough and plenty good enough from 43 yards away. And so the Cowboy lead is now 10-3. 2:22 left in the first quarter. Week on Fox NFL Sunday, Kurt Warner and the NFC West leading Rams battle the surprising Lions, plus other regional action. Coverage begins an hour before kickoff with the pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. Brett Favre will be in Green Bay next week. Brett Favre scheduled to make the NFL record 117th consecutive start by a quarterback. Danny Kite to kick it off. The Colts, one of the, maybe the only team that carries 3 kickers.
Because they can't get the ball in the end zone. Yeah. That's why.
And now they're going to bring this one back to all the way back up close to midfield as the kick went out of bounds.
You know, they worry about not getting the
Out
ball.
of bounds on the kicking team. By rule, the ball be placed at the 40-yard line. Timeout.
I was just going to say that, you know, they worry about not getting the ball to the goal line or the end zone. When you put it out of bounds, it comes back to the 40, and that's a killer.
Cowboys 10, Indianapolis 3, 2:17 left in the first quarter. Ball control doesn't mean everything, does it?
Not if you have special teams that return punts and block punts.
Lucky was the man in motion. Aikman is the man back to throw and throws to Emmitt Smith. Gained about 5, a flag on the play. Cornelius Bennett stopped Emmitt.
Poor old Chad Bratsky was trying to rush that thing. Chad Bratsky, the free agent the Colts got from the Giants, and he's playing against Flozell Adams. It's so big, he is really tough to get around.
The play, the illegal contact happened after the pass was thrown. Second down.
No flag. Bill Carollo, the referee.
Chad Bratsky, when he played for the Giants, he played against Larry Allen. Larry Allen was the left tackle. So he said, he told Ellis Johnson, he said, I'll just tell you one thing about playing against Larry Allen. He said, never take a play off or you'll end up being next to the safety. He said, he'll blow you all the way to the safety. The safety way back here.
There's Emmitt. Dancing close to the first down. He may have it. Jeff Burris made the stop.
This is one of the things the Cowboys are going to be able to do to this defense. They're going to be able to just kind of manhandle that front of the Colts.
So much bigger.
Bigger and stronger. But I don't think you want to get so enamored with that you forget to take your shots.
Right.
I mean, I think that's part of it. And you do that and you do that and you wear them down. But somewhere you have to throw the ball out here to Rocket Ismail. You know, see if you can get him on a deep one.
2 tight ends set up this time for the Cowboys. Lucky is the move man. He leads Emmitt. Emmitt Smith gets about 3.
They're talking about Rocket Ismail and the things that he does, and we know how he'll run a reverse and has good speed, but he's also a good blocker. You know, they tried to get the 8th man up that time to help in the run, and it was Chad Cota. Rocket Ismail just came in here and blocked him. And I think I was talking to Troy Aikman, I remember a couple of weeks ago, and he says the biggest thing that surprises him about Rocket Ismail is how good a blocker he is. Not that he just doesn't do it, but he's very good at it.
And he's not big. Robert Thomas moves in front of Emmitt. Aikman looking and throwing and hits the Rocket. No, it's not the Rocket. It's Ernie Mills.
And he had to scramble a little. He had some pressure from his backside. Here's Ernie Mills here. Now this is just against a zone defense. You see, he has him inside out, and he just works right between both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he starts up and then he just pushes back, and Troy Aikman sees that and leads him. Now you can lead a guy to the right or to the left. You can lead him up, or you can lead him back towards you, and that's what Troy did.
And he got a first down. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. With the score, the Cowboys 10, the Colts 3. Fox NFL Sunday from the RCA Dome will continue after these messages.
In motion. Good block by Allen. He gets away from McKinnon. Bledsoe spun down and sacked for the first time today by Simeon Rice. The one-time.
It all day, every day, even to Canada with our international plan.
You know. Speaking of college football, it's the Home Depot College Football next week. Vanderbilt against number 5 Florida, number 3 Virginia Tech at West Virginia. Here's the punt. High and hanging, and Johnson sends it down to Matt Cody with a flag thrown at the 15-yard line of Arizona. 31-yard punt as it stands right now, and then the second flag is thrown back at the 50-yard line by Johnny Greer's crew. Patriots special teams, Sam, have really been performing pretty well this entire year. And Kevin Falk, a great example for Pete Carroll's Patriots last week against Denver.
12 men on the field. Offense is declined. First down receiving team.
Nice to have a guy like Kevin Falk doing all that good play. He's only a rookie. You know he's going to get nothing but better.
It's all New England.
Look, Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. 1,800 locations. Clean, friendly Super 8.
Clean, friendly, yeah.
Super 8, all the room you want.
Yeah.
10, the Colts 3. Second quarter's first play coming. Aikman. Across the middle, intended for LaFleur, incomplete. First quarter statistics. 25 and 20 passing yards by the Colts, 61, 10 yards rushing. Time of possession belongs to the Colts, but the lead belongs to the Cowboys.
Yeah, and the big thing that these stats don't show is the punt return of Deion Sanders and the punt block. Those are really the Cowboys' 10 points.
That's Emmitt Smith, and he gets only a couple.
Big Sean King in on that play. He said he's had enough of that stuff, and they were kind of getting mauled there in the line of scrimmage, and they had to go to the right. And Sean King says that, you know, I'm going to get a little penetration like Greg Ellis did just a little while ago, and he did get the penetration, and he kind of mauled Emmitt Smith.
Sean King was with the Carolina Panthers. Chris Warren in the backfield this time.
This is that silent count here, Pat.
Aikman goes to the shotgun.
He'll start it with his hands, show his hands.
Ernie Mills back there to Aikman's left. Out to Ernie Mills. Lost control of the ball.
Oh, I think he got a good spot, though, Pat. I think he went out of bounds before that, but looked like the official gave him a couple feet there.
Yep.
That's going to be awfully close. Look at this. Ernie Mills was lined up in the backfield. He led him there. You see where his foot touches there. It's where the ball is. I don't know. You can't see that, but he was kind of fumbling and bumbling and everything. I don't even know that he had control.
You don't know how good a pass that was by Aikman. He couldn't throw it on a line. He had to lob it.
You don't know that, but that is one of the toughest passes to throw. That swing pass.
Here's Emmitt Smith again.
Here we go. Come on.
Emmitt to the 25.
You know, this offensive line of the Cowboys is so big and strong that they can just, if they want to, just overpower it. And I think if they stay on that left side behind Flozell Adams and Larry Allen, that there's not much the Colts can do about it. The Colts are trying everything. I mean, they're stunting, they're blitzing, they're doing everything they can to try and foul up those run schemes.
LaFleur in motion. Here's Emmitt Smith again. Emmitt.
Did you see Larry Allen?
Yep.
I mean, Ellis Johnson is a good tackle.
Yes,
he's number
he is.
62.
Very active.
I don't mean to get carried away with a man in his block, but I want to show you a block. Now watch what this guy here does to this guy here. Now, if you want to be a blocker, you want to be a guard, you do this. That is called a pancake. I mean, that is manhandling. That is putting the guy right on his body.
That's a clean out.
Holy moly! I mean, that's some line play. I mean, if I ever went back into coaching, never would. If I could take one guy with me, it'd be that guy right there, old number 73, White.
Here's Emmitt again, and Emmitt gets the first down. Emmitt's had a busy day.
You know, and as I said, Ellis Johnson is a good player. He just doesn't know what to do now. So the thing that you always do is you say, just get low. And I watch Ellis Johnson. He gets so low there. He just took his head and just stuck it right in the ground. He said, I am not going to let Larry Allen get underneath my shoulder pads. So he just buried himself right in the turf on that play.
What are you going to do?
I have no idea. I'd ask for help. I'd stunt. I'd say, someone else, you try this a while.
That's LaFleur who moves over to the right end, and here's Emmitt Smith again. And Emmitt flashes into the secondary and down to about the 5-yard line.
And right in behind Larry Allen again over Ellis Johnson. There's nothing Ellis Johnson can do about it. They tried to shift, they tried to move, they try and do everything. And again, you're going to see it right here. I mean, Ellis Johnson has to line up. He has to end up right there. And I know it's not a one-man gang, but he's trying to do everything he can, and he's just getting manhandled there. He's getting whipsawed. mean, he's getting blocked and turned and twisted, and he's trying everything. I mean, he's been up high, he's been down low, he's tried to move to the right or the left, and he can't get away from it.
Chris Warren is the deep back. Robert Thomas. Warren gets the carry, and Warren gets down to about the 4. Again, at the bottom of the pile is Larry Allen. What can you do in a situation like that? I mean, it's a helpless feeling.
I don't know. I always say that he's the best offensive lineman in football, and then when I say that, there are pundits. Is that the word, pundits, that argue with me
that is a word.
Tony Baselli is the best, and I don't know, but I would take this. Like anything that would be, where you needed a guy to go with you. I think I'd take him.
Well, if Baselli is better, he should be outlawed.
I mean, I hate to make this a Larry Allen highlight film. He just took Cornelius Bennett. That time they ran to the right, but they still ran behind Larry Allen by having him pull, and he pulled and knocked Cornelius Bennett down, and I could feel it all the way and hear it all the way up here.
Chris Warren got the touchdown.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. I mean, watch, he's going to pull and make contact right here. Watch it. Here's where he's going to end up. Now watch that. Boom! Look at that. I mean, he knocked him right out of the picture. You kidding me?
Well, they got good blocks on the onside, too, from Big E and from Everett McIver. Eric Williams.
That's the thing that the Colts were worried about. It just happened on this drive. Just too big and strong.
Warren gets the touchdown. 17-3.
In feature films, the production assistant gets stuff.
Solid blocking on the side. Armstrong and Irwin the left side. Denny just bends back. One thing you see with this blocking scheme right here is you're not watching guys necessarily be knocked backwards. They're knocked sideways. They're opening the holes laterally and then letting the runner run to daylight.
Did you like that kind of blocking scheme?
That was the style I had in Cincinnati and Tampa. Got me fired twice.
It's a first down pass on the shoe tips of wide receiver Vincent Brisby. Incomplete pass. Brisby has spent his entire career with New England. Miami and Oakland tied. Oakland with a last-second win last week over the Jets. Dallas in what was a huge game for the Colts, leading at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis.
Dave McGinnis, the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals. He's the guy that's got to get the Cardinals back in this game. He'll be blitzing, coming after Drew Bledsoe. I asked him yesterday, philosophically, the best way to stop him. Pressure him or defend the receivers. He said pressure Bledsoe.
Second down and 10. Handoff goes to Terry Allen. And he gains 3 yards on the play. McGinnis almost became the head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, it was funny yesterday. He said, I was the head coach for 5 hours and didn't know it for 3 of the 5. I guess that some coaches take whatever they can get. I think he will be one day.
3rd and long, 7. And
save $100 on our newest phones.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new redesigned Saturn S Series. By PSINet, the internet starts here. By cold, refreshing Zima. Zima, a few degrees cooler. And by Ameritrade. Believe in yourself.
That house is haunted for Halloween. I guess it's haunted all the time.
Yeah, it stays haunted, and they let the kids go through there at Halloween. And wouldn't you like to live like in a house like that?
No.
But you lived one whole semester with no sheets, didn't you?
That's correct.
That's worse than a haunted house.
Terrence Wilkins gets it out to about the 25. I don't think there were no sheets, but there were none of those items either.
And from the 17-yard line.
Offensively. Well, it has been so far, but Greg, we knew that coming in here today. Both defenses are physical, but this Miami defense has won the battle so far. Rushing Rich Gannon, giving the running backs nowhere to run, and when they have some room, they meet Zach Thomas in the middle. And using their speed to stop Rich Gannon from scrambling around.
Wheatley now in the backfield with Richie on first down, and Gannon will throw. Tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete.
Hand off to Adrian Morrell with nothing there. Slade, you can see right on top of him. And at the bottom, they had Ferrick Collins, who is a starter a season ago. Morrell, 4 carries and a meager yard, 1 yard all day.
Well, the offensive line of this Arizona Cardinals, number one, they're banged up. They've got young players at the tackles, as we mentioned. They're big guys in Shelton and Clement, but they're brand new. A game last year and was injured. Shelton, of course, is their first-round pick, one of their first-round picks this year at left tackle.
3rd down and 10 from the 17.
You're never too young to start over.
Hello, my life.
Jennifer Love Hewitt in an all-new Time of Your Life tomorrow on Fox.
The Cowboys 17, Indianapolis 3 in the second quarter. There's Larry Allen.
Yeah, see, he's getting some oxygen now after that job that he did on Ellis Johnson on that drive. I mean, that's as dominant, I think, as an offensive lineman can be on any drive. Larry Allen was on that last drive.
And Ellis Johnson tried everything. 1st and 10. Manning back to throw on 1st down. Dropped by Wilkins.
They are working Deion Sanders, you know, and we kept thinking it would be Marvin Harrison working on Deion Sanders, but it's Terrence Wilkins. Terrence Wilkins was an undrafted free agent.
Defense, 5-yard penalty.
This is against Deion.
Before the pass, 1st down.
Defensive holding.
Here's Terrence Wilkins. He's number 80. Again, he's going to start across. You see, Deion Sanders has a hold of him right there.
He does.
Then he starts across, and he just kind of runs away from him. I mean, he gets a step or two on Deion. Deion's figured that he's just about had enough of this. Terrence Wilkins, like I said, is an undrafted rookie free agent from Virginia.
Manning, the draw play to James. Outside the 35, picked up about 6.
You know, they have the combines here every year, and they invite the top 300 college players. And in fact, Terrence Wilkins wasn't even invited to the combine. So, I mean, a lot of teams really didn't have him in the top 300 players in the country. The Colts drafted him or signed him, I mean, because they needed a punt returner. And then in getting a punt returner, they got a pretty good receiver.
James again. Flag on the play.
Flags all over the place.
That has to be a face mask.
Deion Sanders lined up on the left the last 2 plays, Pat. He's been primarily on the right side the whole time, and I know that Dave Campo wants to change it up, so he put him on the left the last 2 times.
Against Dallas, it'll give the Colts a 1st down.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, right quarterback, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, 1st down.
Charlie Williams.
Yep, it's right there.
No doubt about it. Moves him into Dallas territory to the Cowboy 45. Dallas leading 17-3.
Yeah, that was a 15-yard variety because they have 2 face mask penalties. One is a 5-yard if it's just incidental, and one is if you kind of grab it, hold on, and jerk the head. It's a 15-yard penalty.
That's Williams on Harrison. Look out. That ball is deflected, I believe.
Yeah, they were zoning over on that side, and they tried to hit Harrison between the short corner and the safety.
Next Sunday, the wait is over. The fall's biggest event's coming. Don't miss the most anticipated premiere of the new season, The X-Files. Next Sunday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. It's like about the age of the young man who sang the national anthem.
Deion Sanders is covering in the slot now. against Wilkins, something that you don't see very often. Although he's not a slot now because of motion.
Manning drops. Intended for James, who was jolted loose by Randall, Godfrey, and Hambrick.
You know, you just feel Randall Godfrey getting more comfortable each game we see as a middle linebacker. We talked about how he'd been an outside linebacker. They always knew they were going to move him inside, but now not only against the run, but against the pass. I mean, it looks like he feels comfortable. He knows where he's supposed to be on every situation, and we know that he can do this too.
James is where he wishes he wasn't. Manning comes up on 3rd down to make sure everybody's got the snap count.
He gets his protection set.
Back too soon. The offensive line a little too anxious. There's Tariq Glenn.
Tariq Glenn is saying that it wasn't him, that the defense moved.
Defense can't move.
Full start, 78, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Offensive line have a rule. He who argues is usually he who the penalty is on, and that he is right there, Tariq Glenn. Yeah, and he did move. There's all he could do was argue when you move like that. There's Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator of the Colts, a very good one. And they also have a very good offensive line coach here in Howard Mudd.
3rd and 15. 3-man rush by the Cowboys. At least 3 are down.
Keep moving, man.
And it's a 3-man rush. Manning to Harrison. And a little scuffle breaks out after it's over.
Boy, there was some real hitting in there. I mean,
Isaiah Reese.
Yeah, he threw that ball in there, but he kind of let it into a lot of Cowboy traffic. Now this can either be an incomplete pass or a complete pass and a fumble. That's what they're talking about. Incomplete pass, of course, it would still be the Colts ball. Complete pass and fumble would be the Cowboys.
Is incomplete pass.
Well, let's hear. Look and then listen at the end.
Well, the first thing is the rule is did he have control of it? It doesn't look like if he ever had control of that. That's a big thing, and that's what they ruled, that he didn't have control of it.
Isaiah Reese was the man who did the hitting. And Deion Sanders back deep for Dallas again. Hunter Smith to punt it.
He's had one returned on him almost all the way, and he's had one blocked on him. And this is going to be a block here.
Too much time is what it's going to be first.
Now, the way you can tell it's a block is they usually have 2 guys out here on these gunners, two return guys out on the gunners. And when they only have 1 guy out on the gunners, that means that they're loaded up for a punt block.
There's a flag on the play.
Now here's the gunners out here, and see, when you only get 1 guy out there, that means that you have 1 guy. Here's the other side, so you have 1 guy.
57 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So that means that you have 1 on either side and 1 punt returner, so that means you have 8 loaded up for a punt block. It'll be interesting to see if they do it again, but you can read it. If you put your gunners out there and there's only 1 guy in the gunners, then that means they have an 8-man load, and that's what they got. See, we only got 1 guy in the gunners, so the Cowboys are in a load inside, and they're going to come on a block.
And here they come. This kick is a lot better. It bounces out of bounds at about, well, let's see where he stops. About the 9. 8:38 remaining before halftime. Dallas leading 17-3 over Indianapolis.
In from a yard out, and Miami leads at Oakland 10-3, 2nd quarter, 6:25 to go before halftime. Back to Kevin and Sam.
Thank you, Jim. Miami undefeated on the road this year, Sam. 3-0.
I had them picked as one of the teams, and without Marino, they're still doing it.
A 3rd and 2 handoff with very little up the middle, but enough for a first down on the run by Terry Allen. You know, you mentioned before about the reconstructed knees. He had them both done while with the Vikings, 5 years there. But when he had both knees completely rebuilt, it was the first time in the history of the NFL that a player had come back from that kind of injury, let alone star the way Allen has with the subsequent trip up to Washington.
But part of it is sports medicine, a terrific job by the doctors that did the operation. The other part is rehabilitation. You've got to be dedicated, and this guy is.
Nice tackle by Rob Fredrickson around the ankles of Terry Allen. Well, the Patriots have been...
What's on for today?
Or less.
Lost by 2 to Kansas City. Lost by 1. There's their 2 losses. The rest of them, 5 games decided by 2 points or less. They came out on top. And they're used to being in close finishes, and they're not ready to let their guard down yet.
2nd down and 9. Allen again.
For today. 8 questions, 1 night, over $2 million. The biggest game show in television history. Greed, a 2-hour event, Thursday at 8 on Fox.
Back in Indianapolis, the Cowboys 17, Indianapolis 3. Pat Summerall, John Madden. The Cowboys have the ball at their own 9. The last time they had the ball, they just overpowered the Indianapolis defense. The offensive line just overpowered them. With the exception of Stepnoski, all those guys in that front line weigh about 330. Here's Emmett. Here's what I was just talking about. Look at the last drive.
Yeah, you just look at how Larry Allen dominated that last drive. And it was against, Ellis Johnson, who, as we said, did you see here, he tried everything. I mean, he tried to stay up high, he tried to stay low, he tried to go outside, he tried to go inside, couldn't do anything. And then to finish it off, Larry Allen pulls and knocks Cornelius Bennett out of it for the touchdown.
2nd and 3. Aikman fake to Emmett. Takes his time, throws to Emmett. Emmett lost yardage. Cornelius Bennett.
That was good coverage because he was trying to get the ball downfield. Look what Emmitt Smith has done so far, and look at the success of it. He's only run 1 time to the left. That's outside for 3 yards. 2 times to the right. That was outside for 7 yards. But the bulk has been 9 times for 47 yards inside. And that's where Emmitt Smith runs best. That's where the Cowboys with Emmitt Smith over the years have always run best.
Thursday,
the Colts want a big play for their defense.
4 wide receivers. Chris Warren back next to Aikman. They're showing blitz, and here comes the blitz. And Aikman gets it out of there. In time to Jeff Ogden.
It's going to be in time, but it's not going to be enough for a first down, although it's going to be pretty close.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that spot, it looked like it was back, and then the official come in where he spotted. It's going to be short of a first down. The Cowboys are going to have to punt.
Steve Muhammad made the play for the Colts.
You can see the yellow line in there, and he's going to be about a yard or 2 short.
He'll be going to punt for Dallas, and Terrence Wilkins back deep for Indianapolis.
This is the first time the Cowboys are punting today.
Yes. 6.5 minutes left.
This kid can break one.
Yes, he can. He almost broke a couple of kickoffs. Good kick from Golan. Boy, he catch that one. And down in a hurry is Jason Tucker to make the stop. Good coverage. And so Indianapolis take over inside their own 30, trailing 17-3.
Left foot is down right there. Ball arrives. Possession, left foot down. 1, 2. Looks like a good clean catch. That one does not look close.
You know, Sam, as you take a
well, and I kept saying, well, it's broken. It's broken.
Well, that's right. Greg, and it probably is not a problem during the week, but here's the problem when you get in these games and you don't think about it until somebody about 280 pounds lands on you, and the vibration and everything that happens on your wrist, that's when you get that big pain.
Running play up the middle is Collins. Well, you know, someone 285 pounds, to me, it really doesn't matter if your wrist is broken or not.
Well, that's right.
Install. He was released from the hospital in Flagstaff a couple days ago after 70 days.
After reviewing the play stance is called. We have a completed catch and a first down. Arizona is charged with a timeout.
Arizona now burns their first timeout. He was 70 days. He almost lost his arm. It was almost severed in the car wreck.
There was very little left to attach. It took many, many operations. He obviously will never play football again. Is resigned to that.
Open up to Sam.
Or is that other kind of a lifestyle, possibly even acting. But he's a guy that was revered around here, very popular player. Was here at
the surprise of the new fall season.
Sometimes I fantasize about
an all-new Ally McBeal.
You know, we talked about the great punt of Toby Goen, but watch Jason Tucker here. This is a big part of it too, the coverage. He has double on him. He goes to the outside, gets out of bounds a little, then outruns the double coverage and makes a heck of a tackle. I mean, one thing is getting the punt that deep and that high, and the other thing is getting a guy like Jason Tucker to run down under it.
That's a heck of an effort by both Goen on the punt. Here's Manning giving to James. James. Eight questions. One night, over $2 million. The biggest game show in television history. A 2-hour event, Greed, the multi-million-dollar challenge, Thursday at 8 p.m. here on Fox. Greed, just plain old greed. 2nd and 3. Manning. Harrison gets a Colt first down.
I think as the Colts adjust, one of the things they're going to have to figure out is how to get the ball more to Marvin Harrison. We see that he gets up limping here, but that's only his second catch right there. And as I said earlier in the game, if they're going to get big plays, they're going to get it from him. You know, I mean, he's their big play guy. He's their touchdown guy. He's the guy that, you know, that they have to have.
Reverse to Wilkins at the line of scrimmage. Randall Godfrey again.
Hey, if Randall Godfrey doesn't watch out, he's gonna make the Pro Bowl here playing today. I mean, he's done everything. I mean, they've run at him. He made the play. They run away from him. He made the play. Now they come on a reverse and watch him. I mean, he gets all the way out to this sideline and watch him square up and make that tackle. Whoop. He's so strong. And Wilkins isn't a big man.
No.
He only weighs about 180 pounds, but Godfrey really took him down with one arm.
2nd and 8.
But he had a whole heck of a lot behind that one arm, didn't he?
James. Out of bounds near first down yardage.
You know, as I watch Edgerrin James and, you know, number 32 in this Colt uniform, I think of Mike Curtis. You know, I mean, I think of Colts and his helmet and that blue jersey at number 32. And I'll tell you, we used to play against the Colts. In fact, one of the greatest games we ever had was the Raiders and the Colts went into 6 periods in Baltimore. And over the years, you know, one of the guys that gets lost is one of the great middle linebackers in the history of football is number 32 for the Colts, Mike Curtis.
3rd and 1.
Comes Dion.
Here's James. Enough for the first. I'll never forget seeing Mike Curtis, was playing against him, but seeing him when a fan ran on the field and ran by the huddle. And the next thing he was picking up was himself.
Well, Mike Curtis said that this is his workplace and you can't invade it, and he knocked him down.
Yes,
probably knocked him out, didn't he?
I think they had to help him off. I don't know if he was all the way out or not.
I think this is a first down. I was surprised they even measured it. Whoops.
Just is.
Holy moly, maybe it's just not. Well, that just is.
Yeah.
But from up here, it looked like he had that safely. Look at that bracelet. You see that bracelet that Jim Moore is wearing? Sophie Pearl was the name of his granddaughter. Lives in Seattle. And she made that bracelet for him this summer.
At summer camp.
Yep. And asked him if he'd wear it during the game. And the first game he did against Buffalo, and they won, so he's been wearing it ever since.
Here's Wilkie. Dexter Coakley made the stop.
One thing that the Cowboys have come in here today, they've come in hitting. And, you know, this is just a bunch of the type of hits. It hasn't been easy for these Colts. I mean, this Cowboy defense, as we look at it, you know, week to week, it seems to get sharper and sharper and crisper each week, don't they?
They really do. 2nd and 4.
Because they're good tacklers now.
Here comes the blitz. Manning gives it to James. And James stays on his feet. And James is finally caught from behind by Sanders. Edgar and James broke a couple.
Yeah, they had control of it, and then they got a little greedy. You were just talking about greed on something. The Cowboys had this thing under control. They get up there and they blitz. Now, once you break a blitz, and Edgerrin James gets right here, breaks a couple tackles, now he's free to the goal line. And if it's not for Deion Sanders in a foot race, he's going to score a touchdown.
He just flat ran over Isel Reese.
That's the thing. You leave your safety there. You leave the safety there when you go on the all-out blitz. And I thought the Cowboy defense had this thing under control. They get up there in the blitz, and Edgerrin James makes them pay for it.
And the Colts are at the door with 2 minutes left in the first half.
Pittman gets away from Slade, running outside, and Ty Law finally trips him up. And the running today is very symbolic of where they stand in the NFL coming into today.
New England is 26 out of 31, but Arizona the worst rushing football team in the National Football League. Some of that stems around the injuries and the replacement and the newness of their offensive linemen.
They only have 8 yards rushing today. Another punt by Player. It's almost blocked. It may have been deflected. And the ball trickles near the 38-yard line. There is no flag on the play. 5 may have got on Scott Player, the punter. A 38-yard punt. Let's watch it again.
As long as there's contact with the ball, you can then hit the punter with no penalty. Ball is touched. If the kicker then is hit, he loses his protection. Coming from this side, from the right side, there's the reach out in front. Looks like he got enough of the ball. In fact, the official immediately started clapping his hands together to notify everybody.
Late last season. On the 39, 1st and 10 for Bledsoe, who's thrown 3 touchdown passes today. Time and again, flings a pass which is caught on the near side. Terry Glenn makes the grab. His second of the day, a gain of 13.
You can believe in.
What could ruin a romantic road trip for 2?
Surprise!
Your girlfriend. An all-new That 70s Show, 8:30, 7:30 Central, Fox Tuesday.
2 minutes left to play in the first half. And the Colts are at the door. James. In the second quarter, he's been a late starter, but it usually takes him till the second half, not the second quarter.
He does pretty well in the second quarter, too.
Yeah. Manning is taken down. Dat win.
That's that Cowboy speed again. You know, you would think that, that Edgerrin James had just been running the ball there. You'd think that maybe he'll run it, but they put James here. They're trying to get him out in the flight. You see, it's just a sprint out. Now, Dat win comes, and he is faster than Peyton Manning is.
Yes, he is.
Now, if Peyton Manning can run away from Dat win, he may have a shot at the end zone. You see, this is what he has back here, but there's pretty good coverage there. So he just has to run away from Dat win, and he couldn't do it.
One of the things they had said about Peyton Manning is that he doesn't take sacks. He just took one. Out of bounds is Harrison, knocked out by Deion Sanders.
Well, they had the ball down there in the goal line. Deion Sanders was out because Deion Sanders doesn't play goal line defense. But after taking that loss, then the Cowboys put their regular pass defense in again.
Third and goal at about the 8.
I was watching practice Friday and Saturday, and they practice in this area. Peyton Manning takes all his receivers and practice in this area inside the 10 with all of them individually. So they have plays from here that go into the end zone.
3-man rush. Too much time.
Yeah, that's Adam Meadows, I think, Pat. I think the right tackle, number 73, Adam Meadows, jumped. He had to, go outside.
Snap, false start. 73, offense.
Adam Meadows.
5-yard penalty.
73.
Yeah, you're going to see him right here. You see he started jumping. He has that outside rusher.
Yep.
And you don't have to jump and go out and get him right now. I mean, you can just kind of back up as you move out there, and that's what his offensive line coach, Howard Mudd, right there is thinking. He's probably going to tell him you don't have to jump out like that before the ball snap.
3rd and goal. 3-man rush again by the Cowboys. Or 3 men down. They may rush more. Only 3. Manning had Harrison. He got behind him a little bit. He had 6.
Marvin Harrison did his job. Peyton Manning didn't do his. You're going to see Harrison. He's going to start out here. Then he's going to run a post pattern, which is down and in towards the goal post. And Peyton Manning's going to throw it a little behind him. Had he just let him a couple feet more to the right in front of him, he would have had a chance at that.
Vanderjack from 31 yards out is good again. It's 17-6. The Cowboys escape with only a field goal. 1:15 left in the first half.
CALLATT. Smooth. For the same low rate every minute, everywhere. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect costs. Sweetie, I need a ride.
It's a grandmother versus foster parents in a heated adoption case.
That white. And it really hasn't gone the way he wants, but look at today. J.J. Johnson, 47 yards. Cecil Collins.
Who's been all over the field. He's got 5 tackles already as well. He puts the Vikings on the board. And the extra point from Gary Anderson is good. And Orlando Thomas wakes up the Vikings.
Watch how long Brian Griese holds this ball. Now he's going to get a push inside. It's just 4 guys, but there's no place to throw down the field. And when he lets it go late. Orlando Thomas had a break on this ball all the way off the hash. Here's a guy, I talked to him before the game. I said, how you doing? He looked at me, I'm struggling. I got the flu, I'm not.
There's the blitz. Handoff, huge hole, and a great run by.
Soon, we'll all be okay.
Hi, I'm Troy Aikman of the Dallas Cowboys. Please.
It's a shot from Clemens. Give him the credit, too. He said to the defense, I'm going to give you the long field at your back. I'm going to give you a chance to put this young quarterback in some bad positions and make a play, and that's exactly what he did.
And Griese was sacked 3 times in a row prior to throwing that pass, and you got to think it's got him rattled a little bit.
And it's an all-new Simpsons Halloween special, part of a full hour. The X-Files episode banned from network TV until now. All starts tonight at 7:30, 6:30 Central on Fox. Kite kicked off. Jason Tucker brings it out. 17-6, the Cowboys over the Colts.
Went over, wasn't too bad, got back in the ball game. Here is just the second play run by the Cardinals in Patriot territory, and it's a low, almost uncatchable pass down the middle to the running back Michael Pittman. It'll be 2nd down and 10. The 2-minute offense, you go to the line of scrimmage if the clock is running, but when you've got an incomplete pass, obviously the clock stops.
That's it. Let's review. For about the cost of internet service alone over here, you get unlimited internet, a new computer, in-home service, and great deals over here. All for $24.95 a month. How? Strength in numbers, my friends. Folks, I'm Mark John Jeffries for People PC. Thank you, and God bless.
Chris, what do you got there?
I've assembled the NFL's best. I've got Dion's legs, John Randall's arms, and the heart of Brett Favre.
Whose head?
The most underrated mind in football.
It's alive! Hey, where's the rest of me? What's going on around here?
The NFL's hottest team takes center stage on Fox NFL Sunday as the Rams take on the Lions, or the Bucks battle the Saints. Fox NFL Sunday pregame show next week at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Check local listings.
Halloween night, King of the Hill presents The Little Horrors of Shop.
Just remember to clamp your butt joint.
A new King of the Hill, 7:30, 6:30 Central tonight on Fox.
Halloween. And downtown Indianapolis was jumping this weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, and it's going to be jumping here at halftime for Eric Dickerson, who they're going to honor for his induction this year into the Hall of Fame. Talk about a guy that had some numbers.
Oh, man, could he run?
I'll tell you, with the Los Angeles Rams and then here with the Indianapolis Colts. And he has some of his big old blockers down there with him, too.
Including a guy who put some numbers up for the Cowboys as well, Ray Donaldson.
Yeah, Ray Donaldson, and Ray Donaldson is right in here behind him. Right there is Ray Donaldson. And not only blocked for Dickerson here in the Colts, but then he went and he did it for the Cowboys. And the Cowboys, until they got Mark Stepnoski back this year, didn't adjust to the loss of Ray Donaldson.
After Stepnoski left the first time, Donaldson came in and they were just as good. Here's Emmett Smith again. Emmett bounces to a Cowboy first down, hit by Mike Peterson.
And, you know, at one time they had Larry Allen and Donaldson lining up together. And I'll tell you, when the two of them would start like this, see how Stepnoski is doing it with Larry Allen? They just knock guys right out of round. I mean, the guy starts, he's on his axis, he's in round, and he gets boom, and he gets knocked right out of round.
And they just go in another direction. Chan Gailey heads to the dressing room for the halftime readjustments, as do the Colts. JB and Terry and Howie and Chris come along with scores and highlights. Fox News update on the Egyptian air crash coming up.
Second down and 15. Here's the blitz. Good block by Lamont Warren. The pass here is lassoed by Terry Glenn. Like we said before, when he's healthy, he's great. And he's had a myriad of injuries, ankle problems, hamstrings, ribs, everything.
Watch his burst right here. See him start up the field now. When he turns, he knows the ball is going to be thrown to the outside shoulder. The reason is they're in a 2-minute offense, and the quarterback's going to try to get him in a position to go out of bounds and stop the clock.
3rd and 3 from the 45. Bledsoe grab, yet throws, and
New King of the Hill.
Tillman right there on the coverage. Tillman, a former linebacker in college at Arizona State. He played his college ball in this stadium for ASU.
Watch Drew Bledsoe get hit right here. These are the knockdowns we talk about, where a quarterback gets rid of the ball, but he gets hit. Ball actually gets knocked loose. I think he had a chance to catch it. Here's Drew Bledsoe. You can see him wearing that flak jacket under his jersey. Still gets hit.
There's the punt by Johnson. Matt Cody again.
Time There is a flag down, a 28-yard gain for Leroy Horde. That flag is in the general vicinity of holding. And that's exactly what it is, holding against the Vikings. Tony Corrente.
Holding. Offense. The left guard. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
That's Big Randall. We're talking about Big Randall McDonald over here, the left guard.
Yeah, I don't see Randall. I think the flag was, it should have been called on the right guard, Corbin Messina.
Yeah, I think they got the names mixed up there.
With the penalty, first down and 20. Corey Stringer moves early. It'll be another penalty on the Vikings. It'll back him up again.
This offense has not gotten going at all today.
Send this collect. Will go. Here come the boos. The Cardinals coming into today pointed to this game as a turning point of the season. A win could get them back on track. Little did they know that the explosive New England Patriots would get 3 first-half touchdowns from Drew Bledsoe, and a happy man walking off the field is Pete Carroll. That's the end of the first half. Patriots 20-0. Jim, Craig, Randy, and Jerry will be along at the NASDAQ halftime after this.
Overtime right there, but just missed. Bills come back, scored 10 points in the fourth quarter to go to 5-3 on the year. Flutie did it again.
The old Magic Man had a little magic left in him, but it wasn't there today. Most of the day, at least. He scrambles, buys enough time. Corey Harris can't get to it. Jonathan Litton, 6 points, and the Bills sneak out with a victory.
Flutie was picked 3 times, so it'll have to be a little more magical next week because they'll play at Washington. The Redskins routed the Bears. It was actually 45-0 at one time. Dan Wilkinson ran back a fumble return, 88 yards for a touchdown, among other things. Giants win in overtime. They were down 17-3, but pulled off the comeback.
Oh, this was incredible. Sean Johnson takes it in for a touchdown. Deuce Staley just trying to wrap it up and hold on to the ball in the fourth quarter, but it's a prayer answer there for the Giants defense. They get a chance. Pete Mitchell with a touchdown, and then it's the big man, the defense. You'd expect the defense of the Giants to win it for them. Sure enough, Strahan, take it to the house, big man.
Great job, Christian Peter, blocking that pass to set up Strahan for the touchdown.
What a crushing loss for the Eagles. They were driving there in overtime, and Strahan wins it for the Giants. They're a shocking 5-3. Carolina drops to 2-5 as the Falcons show Chris Chandler back in form today. 2 touchdown passes to Tim Dwight. And a reminder, it's a little more than a
That man doing the job. I know it. Atlanta Falcons victorious, as are the Jaguars over the Chris's Bengals big time. That one, Ravens lose it in the final seconds.
Touchdown, Cleveland gets its first victory of the new regime. Don't forget, it was 26 games, 1977, 26 games without winning a game. The Tampa goes into New Orleans and loses there. Thank you, New Orleans.
The Bengals did beat the Browns earlier this year. I just want to remind you of that.
Oh, they did?
They did.
Dave Campo, an outstanding job with that Dallas defense, and I throw this out to John Madden. Larry Allen is the most dominant player at his position, more so than any other player in the entire NFL.
Maybe Deion Sanders.
No, Larry Allen is the most dominant player in football at any position.
But this is the Dallas offensive line and the Dallas running game that we've been waiting to see all year.
Larry Allen and that offensive line been there all year. Just
not
put the film on.
like this. No, sir. No,
Some of you, on that note, will be going to local news, others to Fox News for an update on the Egypt air crash, Flight 990. We'll do that after this.
On the Bronco jersey. So really no one in the stadium can get mad at her.
That's right. She's representing both.
Right. And
Dale Carter is up.
And the people back in Minnesota can't accuse her of not supporting the family. Look at this. She got the hat going there, and now she's got the Broncos paraphernalia there. And both of them did.
Dale Carter comes out for a play. His brother Jake Reed looks over the sideline, checks on his brother. And it is 2nd and 21. Torrey James came in for Carter as George has nowhere to go with it, and now he'll throw this one away.
I don't know if he got out of the tackle box.
Yeah.
The tight end box. That's intentional grounding.
Keith Traylor and Alfred Williams with the pressure, and the flag does come in late from Tony Corrente.
Or they're going to, yeah.
Intentional grounding.
Team. Fox Halloween Sunday, an all-new King of the Hill presents
Just remember to clamp your butt joint.
The Little Horrors of Shop. Then it's the biggest all-new Simpsons Halloween ever.
You can't kill the undead.
He's undead, all right.
Part of a full hour. And the X-Files so shocking it was banned from network television until now. Fox Halloween Sunday starts tonight at 7:30, 6:30 Central.
This is a Fox News special report.
As many as 217 people are feared dead in the crash of Egypt Air Flight 990. The plane going from L.A. to Cairo.
He loses his...
Back at the Indianapolis Dome, Dallas leads Indianapolis 17-6. John, I know in talking to the Colts, one of the things that they were worried about was the big offensive line of the Cowboys and the fact that they would start to lean on them and just move them out of the hole.
And that's exactly what happened to them. I mean, the Cowboy defense is just too big and too strong, and the Colt defense isn't going to be able to handle that. Although I think we're still going to see some more from the Colt offense. The Colt offense is better, and they have better players than they showed in this first half. And I think, you know, I mean, if it weren't for those two special teams plays, I mean, that punt return and the block punt, this game would even be a lot closer than it is, because I don't feel that either one of these offenses have really gotten in sync.
Well, those two special team plays that you were talking about set up the first Cowboy 10 points. One was this punt return by Deion Sanders. He said, if I ever get the kicker in my eyes, it's all over. But the kicker hung in there this time.
Yeah,
and Deion ran out of gas.
He even gained a step or two on it.
And then the block.
Those are two big plays. You know, you talk about what the offense does and what the defense does, but sometimes it's what the special teams do. And here's two guys I think we're going to hear more from in the second half. Edgerrin James had 72 rushing yards in the first half. Marvin Harrison only had 26 receiving yards. And as I said at the beginning of the game, if the Colts are going to have a chance against the Cowboys, Marvin Harrison is going to have to make some big plays.
Well, he had a chance to make a couple of big plays. One of them was a bad throw by Manning, and the other time the ball was just knocked loose as the Colts kick off to the Cowboys. And that's Jason Tucker breaking out of the pack, and Tucker still on his feet. Tucker still on his feet to midfield. And a good return by Jason Tucker, and we've been hearing he's been coming on.
Yeah, he's been making some plays. I mean, we saw him last week. He made a big pass reception. Today he made a big tackle, and now he gets a kickoff return. Catches that ball, and again, this is going to be a wedge middle. He starts up into the middle, finds a hole to the outside, breaks it, breaks back in again. One is some good running by Jason Tucker, and two is some bad tackling by the Colts.
50-yard return by Tucker. Played at TCU, played in NFL Europe. Now the Cowboys, and here's Emmitt Smith. One of the great running backs and one of the most graceful runners I think ever to play the game, certainly that I've seen, was Eric Dickerson. And our DJ Johnson had a chance to talk with Eric, who was honored here at halftime.
You were inducted in a ceremony in Canton. Now this ceremony here is sort of in front of the hometown. How does this differ?
That's a little bit different because, you know, these are actually the fans, or some of the fans that I played in front of. And it makes a difference because I played with these guys, and, you know, you're at home, and I consider, you know, at home when you play on your home stadium. And it is a big difference. You know, it can, as they say, the big show, but here it's a little bit different.
How'd you feel about all your teammates wearing the goggles?
Oh, man, I thought it was hilarious, man, because, you know, I wore them for so many years. And I always told those guys what it was like wearing goggles, and they got a chance to see a little bit.
I appreciate it, Eric. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Back to you.
It is 3rd and 1 as Emmitt Smith has carried the ball twice. Talk about your great runners. Number 22 for the Cowboys. is one of the best to ever play as well as Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, and then one of the best that ever played is really kind of fighting for his life now, and that's Walter Peyton.
Yep.
You know, when you think of all the great running backs that ever played the game, Walter Peyton has to be up there. I mean, if you say, you know, you take it, you know, you have to block and you have to tackle, and I mean, you have to catch and you have to, you know, run, and you have to. I'm just a football player. To me, if you said who was a running back that was the most complete football player, to me, it would be this guy right here, Walter Peyton. I mean, he could do it all.
Certainly the greatest heart.
Yeah, and the thing is, and he had fun doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when Walter Peyton played, he made it fun for those watching and those broadcasting and for those that played with him.
What a devastating blocker he was. You hear so much about him running and his running ability, but he could block as well as anyone ever. Emmitt Smith over the right side, and he doesn't get there. He doesn't get there.
You wonder why they run to the right side. They've had so much success. They established something in the first half that they could run about anything they wanted to on the left behind Larry Allen. And why, when they need a couple inches, why they go over here, I have no idea. Maybe they were thinking that they think that they're going to go to the left, so we'll fool them and go over to the right. And that just didn't work. You see, the guy that made the tackle was Jason Belser.
Yeah.
Jason Belser is a free safety, so they had him up there, and he got the penetration from that backside.
Going, kicks a skyrocket. I mean, this one might hit the roof. As Terrence Wilkins signals fair catch just at the 10. But Goen did the job that he was supposed to do. 17-6 Dallas.
Chris, the ball was stripped loose. There's a lot of pursuit. It seems like they
heard rumors about free computers, but we haven't actually seen one. Not one with a monitor, 24-hour tech support, loads of software, and a printer, like a Gateway Essential PC with an Intel Celeron processor. Call us. For $30 a month, it's a PC you can believe in.
What could ruin a romantic road trip for two?
Surprise!
Your girlfriend. And all new That 70s.
By Israel and Tabaki Jones. Mario Bates was the #1 pick by New Orleans. Led him in rushing for 3 years. Came here as a restricted free agent. Now as a third down back kickoff return guy. And like we mentioned before, from Tucson, and played his college football in this stadium for Arizona State.
Well, he got him good field position in this stadium this afternoon. And Arizona's got to come out in this start fast right now on this drive to get themselves back in the ball game.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by GMC. Do one thing. Do it well.
Spooky times in Indianapolis. Trees are turning, and so are the people.
People are turning.
The Colts out to the 16. Edgerrin James.
You know, both of these offenses, like I said, are better than they've played so far, and you kind of expect that they're going to open up. I think that the Cowboy offense again has gotten conservative, and they're playing kind of like they did against Philadelphia and the Giants, and the Colts really haven't gotten into any sync yet offensively.
2nd and 4. Manning batted down again by Pittman. And right now, for another update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat, Jeff George finally got the Vikings offense untracked here late in the second. Look at that separation there by Chris Carter. Helped a little bit with that little push. One-handed catch, nonetheless. Minnesota on top by 1 late in the second. Back to Pat and John.
Back here in Indianapolis, it's Dallas 17, Indianapolis 6. 3rd and 4. Harrison coming in motion. And Harrison making the catch for a first down.
What they do with Marvin Harrison is they move him around. You know, as you say, he started out here, then he comes in motion, then he comes back and just finds a hole in the zone. And Peyton Manning knows he's his guy. I mean, he's his go-to guy. He's the guy that he's going to look for. You just watch him. You see, he comes in motion here. Then he's going to come up. Then it's going to be a zone defense. He's going to find a hole right in there. And Peyton Manning throws it perfectly in that hole in the zone.
James for the hole up the middle. Spins outside the 30 to the 32.
Remember when the Colts drafted Edgerrin James, there was all the talk about who's going to go, Ricky Williams and Edgerrin James, and a lot of people thought that it would be Ricky Williams. Yeah. But the Colts felt that Edgerrin James fit in better, was a better fit, because they already had Peyton Manning, they already had Marvin Harrison. They didn't need a guy who was going to run the ball 30 times.
Well, they had Marshall Faulk, who went to the Rams. Peyton looks right, fakes left, throws deep, got a man. Jerome Peyton. He can throw it deep.
He can throw it deep. He throws it deep very well. And Peyton gets out here, and you see right here, he gets on Darren Woodson. And that's a mismatch that they're looking out for, you know, to get their wide receiver on the strong safety. Now, Woodson can cover a wide receiver, but Peyton just gets a step on him on that one. In fact, he had 2 or 3 steps on him, and Peyton Manning threw the perfect pass.
First down at the Dallas 30. James is the deep back, and he gets to carry. Looking for some place to go and finding nothing. Ebenezer Aikman made the stop.
You know, they have to get some running going. I know what Tom Moore is thinking, the offensive coordinator, is their best passing is the play pass, where they fake the run and then throw a pass, either coming straight back or with a bootleg. But you have to be running successfully in order to get them to really bite on that fake of the run.
2nd and 10, 2nd and 11 make it. Harrison, here comes the Cowboys blitz, and they had the right play call. James to the 10. James out of bounds inside the 5. Kenny Wheaton finally knocked him out of bounds.
And this is the thing that Peyton Manning can do. I mean, he's only a second-year guy, and sometimes he looks like a second-year guy, and sometimes he looks like a 10-year guy. Here he feels that thing coming. He waits and waits and invites him to come, and then just boom, he just dumps it off to Edgerrin James. And James makes a pretty good move in Deion Sanders, but he got a block right there. And again, it's the blitz.
Yep.
I mean, you think you can blitz a young guy, but this young guy can get rid of the ball before your blitz gets there.
This young guy is mature beyond his years. Manning with James behind him. James gets the carry on the call, and he's still fighting. Ball came loose, and touchdown is signaled for Edgerrin James.
One thing about Edgerrin James, he keeps his feet moving. Sometimes it's going to hurt him because he does fumble.
I think maybe Wilkins recovered for the touchdown.
Yeah, but James was in there. Yep. He just kept going and going, and then I think the ball did pop out there at the end. Watch him here. You see, he's driving now. He's trying to get that ball across the plane of the end zone. And in doing so, he throws it out there. And you're right, Wilkins does end up with it.
Now they're going for 2. Manning. Interference, a flag in the end zone. Harrison made the reception for the 2 points, but there's a penalty marker down. It appeared to be against Dallas.
So then this penalty will go on the kick, and this whole thing, the touchdown, the 2 points, the penalty.
Number 26 defense, a penalty is declined as though the play is a touchdown.
That's exactly right.
He's a rookie, and he cost him another timeout. 20-0 New England.
What? Is that an adjustment, a big adjustment for a backup quarterback?
Well, that's why I asked him last night. Remember we were talking to him? I said, "Hey, Damon, how you feeling?" You know, and he said, "Oh, he's fine, everything." But you know, physically, of course, it's always tough to play quarterback, especially when you move around, Greg. But the mental grind. Every time a game is over, you feel relief because you won. But all of a sudden, you turn around. Oh no, I got to get ready. I got to direct this thing, and we got to get ready for the next game. And I think that's the kind of hurdle he's got to cross right now.
From the 32, they'll keep it on the ground with Cecil Collins, who picks up a couple.
And Jimmy Johnson, I think, described Damon Hewitt very well in the first.
Year-end projections. To elaborate on what this means for the company, I'd like to turn the floor over to
Keeping it pretty even, the number of runs versus the number of passes. On the ground again. Big running room across the 40 and out to the
October 31st.
Watch Edgerrin James here. He's going to reach out to try and break the plane with the ball. And as he does, he's going to reach right there, and it's going to hit Darren Woodson's knee. You see, so it never crosses the plane. So now it's knocked out. Now it's a fumble. Now Terrence Wilkins is going to come in right there from the side, number 80, and recover it. So the touchdown goes to the Colts, but it goes to Terrence Wilkins.
It goes to Wilkins, then they get the 2 points, and it's 17-14. Danny Kite to kick it off. Kite's kick goes deep to Jason Tucker, who brings it out of the end zone. He almost broke the last one, but this one he doesn't.
The momentum is changing.
Marcus Pollard was down to make the hit. Dallas 17, the Indianapolis Colts 14.
And you get that play ready. You don't use your timeouts.
Visa. It
made a chance to get extra yards.
Charles Woodson lost his helmet on the play, and the Oakland Raiders will call timeout with the Miami Dolphins driving.
There is no horseman. There never was a horseman.
You can lock the door. You can bolt the windows. But can you survive the night? From director Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, Sleepy Hollow, rated R. In theaters November 19th.
She's a beauty, isn't she?
Weren't you supposed to?
That was interesting.
The Volkswagen Jetta. Sometimes everything just comes together. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Are you ready for the surprise of the new fall season?
Sometimes I fantasize about
an all-new Ally McBeal tomorrow on Fox.
Cowboys have the ball. They lead by 3. 8:26 left in the third quarter. But the momentum has gone to the Colts.
Well, the Cowboys offense really hasn't been effective. We talked about that earlier. I mean, they haven't been aggressive. Troy Aikman's longest completion so far is 9 yards.
Here he is back to throw. And he lost the ball. The ball's back in the end zone, close to it. Eric Williams knocked it back. The Colts, Chad Bratsky picks it up in the air. And it's the Colt ball that the Cowboy won.
I don't know what the heck Eric Williams was thinking. If Eric Williams falls on it, the worst it can be is 2 points.
I don't know.
The worst it can be is a safety, but he knocks the ball out, and now the Colts get it. We talk about how the momentum is changing. Watch Bratsky here. They try and cut him. He's the first guy. He gets Troy Aikman's left arm. Then he gets his right arm as he's starting to throw the ball. Now, Troy Aikman was trying to get his right arm going forward. If his right arm were going forward, then that would have been an incomplete pass. Now, Eric Williams could have just fallen on the ball in the end zone. It would have been 2 points. He knocks the ball out. Now the Colts get it back, and it's their ball first down.
At the 1. They would have had a free kick if he had just fallen on the ball and taken the safety. James. No signal yet.
No signal by an official.
Touchdown. The Colts have the lead.
That was the type of thing you let them sit in there and you let them sit in there and then they come back. Remember the Eagles did it to them, the Giants did it to them. And now the Colts are in the process. Cedric James is a tough guy. I mean, I'll tell you, he's a rookie and he has some problems. He's fumbled, he's done some things, but he's done some very, very good things too.
Vanderjagt for the extra point, which is good.
They got 2 touchdowns 11 seconds apart.
21-17, the Colts lead the Cowboys. 8 minutes left, third quarter.
From the 23. Allen again. McKinnon around his waist and a gain of 4 on the play. That will set up third down and a couple. Next Sunday on CBS, there were a couple of kids who wanted to start a band, but they wound up starting a revolution. Shake, rattle, and roll next Sunday on CBS. I'll tell you what, Bledsoe has been shaking, rattling, and rolling in this game. 3 touchdown passes.
I've been shaking and rolling, and I've noticed you rattle a little bit when you walk, so. What's loose, buddy?
Yeah.
There's a blitz.
Third down and 4. The pitch out to Jerry Ellison has the first down. Ellison with his first carry of the season.
Streams.
It's the pitch out. A 5th-year running back from Tennessee, Chattanooga, off the Tampa Bay practice squad. He played late last year for the Patriots.
You saw the blitz coming to the inside, and then the pulling lineman as they come out. That was Zephros Moss pulling to the right side, and New England continues their drive. In the first 7 games, they have scored 5 times in their first drive of the second half. That's a winning football team.
From the 36, first and 10. Handoff. And
Johnny? Could I have yours?
Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, Kurt Warner and the NFC West leading Rams battle a surprising Lions. Plus other regional action. Coverage begins an hour before kickoff of the pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox.
2 touchdowns in 11 seconds by the Colts.
Lots of things.
Big play by Chad Bratsky. You know, I don't know that you can be too tough on Eric Williams on that play, because if he jumps on it, it's just 2 points instead of 7. But he could be thinking if he knocks it out, maybe one of his guys will get it. Yeah.
Jason Tucker gets out to about the 24 this time, where the Cowboys will take over. And they got to regroup.
Well, the thing is, they have to get aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, and I said that earlier, when they were having so much success so easy, I said they can't let this lull them to sleep, and I think their run success did lull them to sleep.
21-17, the Colts lead it.
4 of 10. Now, they came into this game having not converted their last 8 in a row in their last ball game.
3rd and 3. Here comes the rush. Trey has him, and down he goes. Brad Otis sacking him for the 4th time.
Place.
Otherwise, there's about 10 things it could be on the return team.
During the return.
Continues the pressure. Part of the reason Drew Bledsoe is sacked is he throws the ball a lot, for one thing. He drops back to throw it. The other part is he'll hold on to the ball because they throw deep down the field a lot, and he holds it.
Well, the ones with great taste love Miller Lite because it tastes great. And by the way, prefer brunettes. Oh, if they prefer brunettes, why do they drink a beer that's smooth and blonde? Because it's a natural blend.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
Yeah, like men care.
People, you can come out now.
For the Super Bowl. There for him, maybe about a yard. You and I were talking during the break.
Let's print PCS. That's right. Come on out. Welcome back to the world.
Introducing the Sprint PCS wireless web.
8 questions, 1 night, over $2 million. The biggest game show in television history. Greed, a 2-hour event, Thursday at 8 on Fox.
Next Sunday, the wait is over. The fall's biggest event is coming. Don't miss the most anticipated premiere of the new season, The X-Files, next Sunday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, here on Fox. Colts 21, Cowboys 17.
And from this point on, the crowd is going to be a factor.
Yes, sir.
Rocket Ismail has only caught 1 pass for 7 yards.
Here's Emmitt Smith. Outside the 30, about the 31.
Yeah, we're talking about, just saying, we're talking about the Cowboys having to be aggressive, and I mean aggressive in the passing game. Look at this. Troy Aikman has completed 6 for 8, all under 15 yards, for only 31 yards. He hasn't completed a ball over 15 yards. He's thrown a ball over 15 yards, and Rocket Ismail has only caught 1 pass for 7 yards.
Colts showing blitz. Aikman, LaFleur, up the middle, cross midfield. Chad Cota.
And that's the type of thing they have to do. I mean, they have Chris Warren in there that can do it with. Rocket Ismail. Here it happens to be LaFleur. You just see the tight end there. He's running that seam pass. Once he gets by the linebacker, Cornelius Bennett, he knows he has a hole until he gets to the safety, who is Chad Cota. Troy Aikman sees it, and he hits him right in that hole between the linebacker and the safety.
1st and 10, Dallas at the Colt 46. Aikman drops. Caught, and a heck of a catch by Ernie Mills. Another Dallas first down.
And that's that timing pass. You know, the Cowboys haven't thrown that a lot in the last couple of years, that skinny post. And watch it here. You just come up and right in here. See, the thing is, you come in and now come right in here just a little. And as Ernie Mills takes that step to the inside, Troy Aikman lets the ball go. Remember, for years under Norv Turner and Ernie Zampese, that was a big play for Michael Irvin, the skinny post.
Heck of a catch by Ernie Mills. First down, Dallas. And they give to Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt is cut down after he picks up a couple.
And that's the type of thing that they have to do, is that throwing game. And you watch that they play Larry Allen here. You see, they know that he's coming, and they're used to taking him on. He just knocks him out of there, and he knocks him right into the tackle. That was Chad Cota, who's the strong safety. That block on him played pretty well. There's Michael Irvin. This week he has that brace off his neck, which is good to see.
2nd and 8. He was out running and exercising before the game. Here's Aikman. A lot of time. Across the middle to LaFleur. They're saying incomplete. He's saying complete. And I think the officials say complete as well.
I was just saying Trey Aikman was trying to throw that ball to Rocket Ismail on the left, and he waited and he waited and he waited, and Rocket didn't get open. There was good coverage, so he had to come back and throw it to LaFleur.
First down, Dallas. And now they're at the 17. Aikman 3 out of 3 on this drive. Back again, make it 4 out of 4 to Robert Thomas. And Thomas, the new fullback, is knocked out of bounds inside the 10 by Mike Peterson.
See, this is what they had to do. You know, as I said earlier, they got enamored with that running game and they stayed with it too long, and now they got the passing game going, and now they can mix things pretty good.
Chris Warren checks in. Emmitt Smith gets the rest. Emmitt Smith's one of those guys. You were talking about Walter Peyton a minute ago. But he's one of the best pass blockers, one of the best blocking backs that we've ever seen, I know.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw Emmitt Smith, I said somewhere he had to have a good coach who taught him how to block. I mean, that's something he didn't learn when he came to the Dallas Cowboys. Even when he went to college, he learned that in high school.
There's a lot of want to that goes along with that. Warren's the deep back. Chris Warren to the 5. Who was that? Eric Williams came in and added his bulk to the pile.
He just moved the whole pile. I think he was thinking about, he's fired up because he was thinking about that 5 that he gave away at the other end. But like I said, when you're out there playing football, you don't have time. You know, you're a big old tackle. You're just blocking. You don't have time to think about the difference between 2 and 5. Watch him come in here at the end. That's like a belly flop. That's where you practice that. You practice that in the summer in a swimming pool to see how much water you can displace.
A lot. Smith is back, and Emmitt scores. Emmitt Smith puts the Cowboys back ahead.
Well, they went back to the offensive aggression and the passing game, and they started doing that. And then once you get that going, you get the big plays with passing, and then you get these types of plays with running. They just run right in there again like they've been doing all day in there behind Larry Allen, but they can't make a living at that. They just can't do that all the time.
That's a heck of a block by Stepnoski also.
Stepnoski makes a heck of a block most of the time.
They just buried Ellis Johnson again.
Poor Ellis Johnson. He ought to get 3 paychecks for this game.
And a shovel to dig out with.
And 2 pregame meals.
Emmitt Smith's touchdown. Lucky in front of Smith.
Hello.
If that's on Denver, that's going to give them a first down.
They got him. Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Neil Smith, he doesn't come in unless it's a pass situation. He's been relegated to that kind of duty now. Trying to get a jump. You see.
Gorgeous day, and a lot of the Coneheads are here from New York, and Patriot fans, of course, from the Northeast. First down and 10-yard handoff goes to Terry Allen, who has a robust run up to the 25-yard line and picks up 5, setting up second down and 5. Ernie Zampese is the offensive coordinator, Sam, of this offense, and he, of course, comes from the Don Coryell offensive philosophy.
I actually played for Don Coryell for half a year with his old St. Louis Cardinals in 1976, and it's a 5-step drop. Lots of high possession throwing, trying to get 5 receivers out. very much the same principle that we see here. It's not quite West Coast-ish, but it's very close.
2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground again. Here comes Terry Allen, a first down run and more.
Dog. Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow, do not conform. Be different. By fogdog.com, your anywhere, anytime online sports store. By Sprint PCS, experience the clear alternative to cellular. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste.
The Cowboys have taken the lead, 24-21. You ever go trick-or-treating?
Yeah, heck yes. But, you know, in those days, when I used to trick-or-treat, I used to do some tricks, too. You know, it just wasn't all treats because everyone didn't give you treats.
That's exactly right. Or you had to do a trick to get a treat.
Yeah, or if you didn't get, I mean, the one that I liked is when they didn't give you the treat because they said they didn't have any, then you would soap their windows is what you do. That would be the trick. And the other thing, the worst treat, though, was like oranges. I mean, do you ever go when, you know, you go trick-or-treat, you know, and you're thinking candy, and someone gives you an orange or a tangerine?
Yep.
That's stupid. You can't do that. Don't do that. Or then there's some that, you know,
bananas, too.
No, bananas, that's better. Or some will give you toothpaste. What's that all about? Oh, it's about jack-o'-lanterns.
I never got toothpaste.
Scarecrows. Oh, yeah, there's a group that will give you that.
Sheets or toothpaste, I never got. Here's Peyton Manning as a flag on the play as Manning throws down the middle, incomplete.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of that today, that bootleg, and the Colts are a big bootleg team where off any run, they fake the run and then bootleg the quarterback out away from the side that they faked the run.
This is against the Cowboys. Dave Campo, the architect
defense.
of the
Number 97
Dallas
lined up in
defense
the
on the
neutral
right,
zone.
behind the red
5-yard
phone.
penalty remains first down.
You can see, you see the ball is the neutral zone. So you see the hand right in there on the ball. His hand is lined up in the neutral zone.
Kavika Pittman. 1st and 5 for the Colts. Manning gives to James. James picks his way close to a first down before he's tripped up by Godfrey.
I like this James. You know,
oh yeah.
He was the
Another
guy
flag.
he was the guy that said at the you know, draft and the combines and all that thing, between the difference between he and Ricky Williams. He said, I'm the guy with the gold in my mouth. He's the guy with the gold everywhere else.
Yeah.
Holding 74 offense. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Waverly Jackson.
Repeat first down.
Call for holding. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Dallas up by 3. First down.
They like this type of thing out here. Start like this and either run patterns off there or come in motion like they're doing on top of the screen.
It's first down and 11. Pass is incomplete. Harrison, the intended receiver.
You know, one thing about Peyton Manning is he's such a good quarterback and he's so knowledgeable. Sometimes you'll throw that pass against a zone. You throw it away from the defenders and let your guy come in and make a play. And sometimes it will hit the ground. I mean, someplace to stay it, sometimes to throw it away from a defender, you have to throw it into the ground.
Manning is, he doesn't look it, but he's 6'5" and 235 pounds. Big quarterback. Just does get rid of it. Intended for James out of the backfield, but he was under pressure.
And Dexter Coakley was on him, and it would have, if James had caught that ball, that would have been an interesting race because Deion Sanders was man-to-man down here in the left side. And if James catches this ball, he has a run. And Dexter Coakley is one of the fastest linebackers in football. But I wonder in that position, you see him right there, if Coakley would have caught James.
Deion Sanders goes over to the right side.
He's taking the tight end. This is Ken Dilger over here.
Charlie Williams looked like he doesn't know where to go. There is the shovel pass to Terrence Wilkins, who's close to a first down.
That's when I saw him work with Terrence Wilkins. Peyton Manning just takes players when the defense is practicing, and he just practiced individual plays with them. I saw them work on this play here. See, out of the shotgun, Peyton Manning will start like he's running to the left. Wilkins comes underneath, and they pull and they trap, and they just shovel it right to Wilkins. They do a lot of things with this Terrence Wilkins for a guy who was a free agent just signed to be a punt returner.
1st and 10. Manning changing and calling the protection at the line of scrimmage. He gets to James. James looking for somewhere to go. Kenny Wheaton up to take him down after about a yard.
Cedric James has a lot of confidence. I mean, you know, he doesn't run like a rookie who doesn't know his blocking schemes. I mean, he started in there to the right side and just stopped and then jumped all the way to the left side. And I'm not saying he's like Barry Sanders. I don't mean to even, you know, imply that in any way, but that move is like a Barry Sanders move, what I'm trying to say.
Manning drops. Throws quickly to Harrison, who doesn't get the first down, but gets close to it, about a yard shy.
You know, one of the questions about Peyton Manning when he was drafted #1, you know, do we take Peyton Manning or do we take Ryan Leaf? And the word was that Ryan Leaf had a stronger arm than Peyton Manning. Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, said that when he first came here, Peyton Manning had a good, strong arm. He says now, after working out and being a year older, he has a great, strong arm.
And certainly he knows the game as well as anyone.
And he has to get past that yellow line.
Brings the ball down and throws complete to Marcus Pollard. He's quite a story.
Yeah, a guy you wonder how it could even happen. Didn't play college football. He was a basketball player, a power forward at Bradley. They signed him as a tight end, and now he's with his 5th year. He's with the 5th year with the Colts. And he's a good player.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a big guy, and they play a lot of 2 tight ends. And the thing that they like about Marcus Pollard is they can split him out.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score: the Cowboys 24, the Colts 21. Fox NFL Sunday from the RCA Dome will continue after a word from your local Fox station.
The hold is there from Johnson. And here is a wide open touchdown reception by Terry Glenn, #3 on the year. The Patriots are rolling.
This is Propecia, a pill that might interest you.
This message and a word from your local station. You're watching.
Available for Mike Shanahan. So a thin team gets much thinner.
Thank you, Drew. That means that Anthony Lynn may see some running. We saw him in the first half.
Sorry, Ray, I think what that means is that the load goes back to Alandis Gary.
Gary's been out twice with injuries in this game. No, it looked like maybe Kenny Wright with the shoulder in there, and they're working.
A partner you can count.
Item numbers for.
Use your Visa card and you could win a once-in-a-lifetime NFL fantasy. Play flag football with the pros. Go to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii.
I can't get away with this?
You know, Kenny and I never compare statistics.
Or Super Bowls.
That way we can drink our Miller Lights without arguing. Right, Mr. Fewer career touchdown passes than me?
Right, Mr. Never Been to the Big One.
We only talk about why Miller Lite tastes great.
It's the choice hops.
No, Snake. Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth. But let's not fight.
Yeah, you're right. Let's be friends.
Table ready for Mr. I don't have as many passing yards as Dan Fouts?
Hey, that's you.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
You kickers have all the gimmicks, don't you?
Well, now, that's the device we didn't have. When I was
yeah. They got their own holders now.
We didn't even have that net.
Bring some sticks and holds it for them.
The only way he got to warm up was by the charcoal bucket. Manning, wide open touchdown. Marvin Harrison. Perfect shot from Peyton Manning.
Deion Sanders was over on that side. We talked about if the Colts are going to get a big play, it's going to be Marvin Harrison. You just see him here. He just runs right by Deion. I don't think Deion Sanders expected it. He didn't make any move. Deion Sanders just sat there, and Marvin Harrison just ran right by him. And there was nothing that he could do about it. I don't think Deion Sanders recovered from that first punt return.
I don't think so. He didn't even move. He didn't react.
No, I tell you, Marvin Harrison is a real deal. I mean, this guy is a big-time player. And Peyton Manning is a big-time thrower.
The 20 consecutive games that Peyton Manning has thrown a touchdown pass, the 4th longest streak of the 90s, and that's a perfect shot.
I can't believe you tore.
Quiet tight end in this mix. Quietly, Byron Chamberlain has been the heir apparent to Shannon Sharp and does a lot of things like he does, but I think Carswell has been the guy they've used for the blocking.
3 grabs on the day for 31 yards for Dwayne Carswell. 1st and 10 from the 41 of the Vikings. McCaffrey doubles back in motion. This is Orlandis Gary. Gary tripped up. Boy, he had a hole, but he tripped. He'll pick up 6 on the play.
Once again, talk about Carswell in the blocking. They put the tight end over John Randall, and John Randall gets pushed down inside, and that's where they run the ball. Carswell over here, that's John Randall. And already you shorten this corner. As soon as he takes that step, they push everybody down, and for some reason, somehow, Gary just trips on somebody's foot.
Yeah, McCaffrey, give him a tackle.
Boy, John Randall, I've seen him come off better than that.
2nd and 4. Here comes the blitz from the Vikings. Greasy throws it in. He's got Ed McCaffrey.
That's the guy.
Second catch of the day from McCaffrey. Good for 10 yards and another Bronco first down.
I don't know how Ed McCaffrey is feeling, and I would suspect that he's got quite a few cobwebs still up there in his head. But Brian Greasy knows that he's got the go-to guy back in the game, and that's where he goes with the football.
7th play of this drive that started on their own 14-yard line. 1st and 10 now from the Vikings 25. Quick pass outside to Smith. Smith breaks 1 tackle. Picks up 5 yards. He avoided.
That's a good trick or treat.
Nah, they got to give handfuls. You don't give one little thing like that. I mean, either do it.
They couldn't carry it. They're not big.
Yeah, they're little kids. Well, we got jack-o'-lanterns up here. We got 2 pumpkins up here ourselves that we cut. Nellie cut one of them.
Nellie did.
Nellie carved a pumpkin. We got it lit up like a pumpkin. We got 3 of them.
Jagged smile. Heights kickoff sails into the end zone. They won't bring it out.
I'll tell you, that Marvin Harrison touchdown was something, because first of all, he's talking now, that was Deion Sanders. They're asking him, who was on you over there? And he's telling them, that was Deion Sanders on me.
Well, nobody was on him.
Well, you see, here's Deion. I mean, he was supposed to be on him. Here's Marvin Harrison right here. Now, there is a little play fake. I think he looks in there and gets held a little, but that's no excuse. I mean, when you get paid millions to cover man, there's no excuse about where's your help or did you go for this. I mean, you got to be able to cover that guy. That's why Jerry Jones' money goes to him. But like I said, Peyton Manning is a real deal.
You don't need to look at pictures to know what happened.
Marvin Harrison is a real deal, and Edgerrin James is a real deal.
28-24, the Colts lead the Cowboys. Aikman has Emmitt Smith behind him, and Mike Lucky in motion, and Aikman drops. And he's going deep. Juggled by the Rocket.
Now there's no flag down, but there was a hat down. And I think what happened is I think Rocket ran out of bounds.
I think he did.
And you'll see if you step out of bounds, then you can't come in and touch the ball. Although there was no penalty, the official just threw his hat down. That was just good coverage.
Yeah. Jeff Burris on the coverage with him. Couldn't see him step out of bounds, but I think your view was blocked because he did.
Yeah, and that's why the hat went down, but there was no completion anyway.
On 2nd and 10, Emmitt Smith gets the carry. He picks up about 3.
See, you know, this is a game, you know, we talked about the running game and stopping the run is important, but you make big plays through your passing game. And the Cowboys haven't made it with their big play guy, Rocket Ismail. And the difference is in this second half, the Colts have made it with their big play guy, Marvin Harrison.
3rd and 8, the big 3rd down here. Opening seconds of the final quarter, 4 wide receivers, and Chris Warren in the backfield with Aikman.
This is a silent count. After Troy Aikman puts up his hands, the ball snapped.
Here comes the blitz. Look out. Jeff Burris off the corner.
That's and Troy Aikman isn't getting up. That's one that he should see coming and he has to get rid of, but it's 3rd down. And that's one thing about this Colt defense. We said that they're, you know, that they're not big enough. They are outmanned, so they're going to have to do things like this. Here's Burris right up here. He's the outside guy. They brought a safety inside of him. He's outside. He's free and outside. And sometimes you need speed to get there from that far out.
And he got there. And Aikman had no blocker to pick him up. Toby Goin standing in the end zone. Not his best kick. Wilkins shakes one blocker. But the coverage is there quickly, and flags come flying from everywhere.
You know, whatever the Colts did in the first half, they just kind of hung in there. We talked about how they really weren't in sync, but whatever they did or took or talked about or said at halftime, it has worked because they've made great adjustments.
The illegal block in the back, so frequent.
Illegal block in the back.
Checking with Aikman and asking if he's okay. He was a little dazed looking when he got up.
10-yard penalty. By rule, the receiving team will keep the ball. Timeout.
Tucker down again, and that's an illegal block in the back.
If you can read his name, you don't block him.
Yep. With its 32-valve I-4.
To get anybody injured, so the solid running game, not taking too many risks with that jump ball down the field where injuries do happen.
2nd down and 7. Falk running laterally and brought down nicely by Brad Addis, who missed last year with foot surgery and is back now. Loss of 1 on the play, and Monday on CBS. How to enjoy a romantic weekend getaway when your best friend is next door and the walls are paper thin. Find out on an all-new King of Queens. That's tomorrow night on CBS. Can we put that in?
I don't know. Just tell me you didn't have a deja vu right there, okay?
What, of you in the dress?
No. That too. Yeah. Tell me you didn't.
3rd down and 8.
That was my last year's Halloween.
Yeah, I know, and you look good from the 49. Great time. Good block by Rucci. And a pass is caught by Rutledge, fumbled, and then recovered.
The meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow.
The event coming you've been waiting for. The X-Files season premiere next Sunday at 9/8 Central on Fox.
Look at that sack. Troy Aikman is looking to his left. You see, he has his shoulders turned. Then at some point right here, he turns and he sees Jeff Burris. And Burris comes in. Watch his eyes when he sees Burris. He just puts his helmet down, and Burris comes in and got away with one there because he hit him helmet to helmet.
That's not supposed to be. Here's James. Picking up 4 or 5. Here's Troy over on the sideline after that helmet-to-helmet collision.
Yeah, and you could say that he was looking the other way. I mean, he was looking to his left. Then when he turned, he saw Burris there, and he put his head down to kind of take it, and Burris's helmet went right into his helmet, and
he kind of turned into it.
And he's still trying to shake off the effects of it.
2nd and 6. James got 4. Manning incomplete. Flag on the play. That was not his best throw.
No, that was again. It was a little behind him, but that's from that area where they call defensive holding. It's usually on the tight end, on who's ever covering the tight end.
Number 28 defense prior to the pass. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, that on Darren Woodson. There was that deep official, and that deep official keys the tight end. See Kevin Smith going out of there. The Cowboys are getting, they look a little tired and beat up here.
And thin in the defensive backfield anyway.
Deion Sanders, he was like he was planted in mud when Marvin Harrison went by him.
Manning fakes. He's chased. Pass is caught by Terrence Wilkins, and a flag on the play. And again, Deion Sanders.
And that was that bootleg that we talk about that Peyton Manning does so well. You know, fakes a run, then bootlegs out to the left side. This is going to be a penalty more against Dallas.
Yep.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 21.
Deion got him by the face mask on the way down.
End of the run, first down.
Peyton Manning is out here to the left already. He took a hit by Kavika Pittman right after he threw that ball. There's Terrence Wilkins. He's been making some big plays against Deion Sanders. And then Deion is playing him off. And this is the thing that we talked about earlier that they thought they could beat him on is crossing patterns. And that's the second one that Wilkins has gotten on him.
Plus the face mask.
And that's the face mask. That's the 15-yard variety face mask, too.
It's first down, Colts at the 17.
These guys have gone after Deion Sanders. I mean, there are teams that are going to stay away from him. And this is the most aggressively that I have ever seen a team go after Deion Sanders. Now, I say that I think there's something wrong with Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I think so, too.
But the Colts know that, or whatever. I mean, they got a rookie, undrafted rookie from Virginia who weighs under 180 pounds, who they're going after Deion Sanders with.
Tom Moore, the architect of their attack.
Tom Moore, I know, Terry Bradshaw had Tom Moore. And Terry Bradshaw in the pregame show today was saying that he thinks that Tom Moore is the best offensive coordinator in all of football.
2nd and 11. Passing down for Peyton Manning, who's looking and has time. The ball is deflected, knocked away by Chad Hennings.
You think of Peyton Manning, and he reminds you so much of his dad, Archie Manning, and what a job they did in raising him. And I mean, you just meet him and you watch him practice and play, and his work ethic and the type of guy he is and the man he is, and he should be the poster. I mean, he's what it's all about, and he's kind of my new favorite player, if that makes any sense.
It does, and I can see why. He has tremendous knowledge of the game. He's moving things around. He's taking a lot of time. They got it. Out it goes to Dilger. Darren Woodson with him, takes him down. He couldn't get it set like he wanted it.
And he's mad. You're probably mad at not getting set. Probably mad at himself not having the right guys. But that's what you like about him. I mean, he's a warrior. He's a competitor. He's just not. And there's nothing soft about this guy either. I mean, last year he set a record for attempts by a rookie. I mean, he had more attempts. He had 575 attempts, and he said that's what helped him for this year.
Vanderjagt for the field goal from 33 yards out, and from 33 yards out, he puts the Colts further ahead. Jason Garrett been warming up as Aikman was hit helmet to helmet.
As the countdown begins to the 21st century, there is still one number you can always count on.
Bond.
Bond.
James Bond.
This holiday season, one man will rock your world. The World Is Not Enough. Rated PG-13. Starts November 19th.
You know what I love about being on TV? All you people watching out there can't eat us, so tough noogies.
Excuse me, I like to eat alone.
Save us! Stop that!
Need brakes? Now during the Midas $40 lifetime brakes rebate, save $20 per axle or $40 for your whole car. Lifetime guaranteed $40.
Look at this. Willie McGinnis dropping right back into the middle. Pass rusher. The New England Patriots haven't slowed down at all with their defensive scheme, given the Arizona Cardinals all the problems they gave them in the first half. What did you say? Did you say something that was pithy or humorous in any way, shape, or form?
You know what? I say it, I just forget it.
Yeah, I don't even listen most of the time, so I passed twice.
I think it's very obvious. Almost blocked there by Larry Wiggum. And Player punts it inside the 40 someplace as Kevin Falk was drifting over. No flags on the field. Yard punt by Player from the 34. New England will start it. Bledsoe, 4 touchdowns.
Still, Troy Aikman just told someone who walked by that I'm okay, but I'm still not sure about that. Are you?
No. See, you got that smelling salts. He was up for a while.
Yeah.
Then he said he was okay, but then he went back and sat down again, and he's not okay. He's trying to get to be okay, but he's not okay.
Kite again sails the ball out of bounds.
And that's a big break for the Cowboys because they'll get it on the 40 again.
That's twice that's happened today. Here's Jason Garrett coming in at quarterback.
So it's obvious that Troy Aikman isn't okay. Here's the hit again. The corner, Jeff Burris. You see right now, he sees him coming. He puts his head down, and Jeff Burris just goes helmet to helmet. You can see Troy Aikman, Pat. This is what I was talking about.
Just a moment ago.
Just a moment ago, he was walking around, and then he said he was okay, but then he didn't look okay because he went back and sat down. You see, he was up there like he was going to go back in, and then he went down and sat down, and that's when I thought that he wouldn't be coming back in.
And it's Jason Garrett at quarterback, and Emmitt Smith gets the carry and picks up a couple, and that's all. They continue to check with Aikman.
And he continues to smell that smelling salts, and you can see I'm not an expert on this, but usually when you smell smelling salts, because I've done that before, if you clear your head, boom, it pops your head back up. When you go like that and it doesn't pop your head, it's not getting or going through. That's probably not a medical thing. Just a thing.
Here's Garrett. Just gets it out of there. Incomplete. Intended for Rocket Ismail. Bounced off his knee and bounced backward. 9:58 left. Troy still sniffing.
I don't know how he got that out of there. Michael Barber, the linebacker, was coming, and he threw it right through Barber somehow. But that smelling salts right there isn't working for Troy Aikman.
It jolts you a little bit if it does work. 3rd and 8. They're 3rd in the NFL. 4 wide receivers.
See, they're going to a silent count. You see how they all come up? Then he calls the pass protections, and they all go back.
Better hurry. Garrett. Nothing doing. Cornelius Bennett takes down Jason Garrett, and the Cowboys will have to punt. The Colts just hung in there.
And the Cowboys let them hang in there in that first half. They didn't put them away. And then this young team that someday is going to be a heck of a team if they keep on this road. They just hung in there and kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And now they're ahead 31-24.
So Goin is back to punt. Wilkins back deep for the Colts. A good kick by Goin. Gets away from Tucker. Gets away from 3 or 4, but that's good coverage. There are a lot of other waves of white down in a hurry. The Colts take over.
Around the ankle and hauled down. Timeouts. New England has 3. Arizona has 1. As the clock continues to wind its way down. Cleveland lost today. There are rumors out of New Orleans that Mike Ditka may say adios. He was and they lost at home too.
Well, he's having a tough year, and I know he's taking it. Obviously, he's taking
63 snaps, Minnesota 33 in yardage. Denver 326, 167 for the Vikings, and you see the disparity in the passing yards. 2nd and long. George hits Randy Moss. His first grab of the day is good for 2 yards.
And that's the kind of thing that frustrates Randy Moss. You know, underneath stuff, just queuing in, queuing out. That's not.
Hey, Mike, Chardonnay's a little warm. You got it, bro. Go, 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 go! What happened, man? Oh, it's Keyshawn again. I can't believe it. Hey, are you dissing me in front of my boys, Keyshawn?
What? You didn't even see the play. You need to get Web TV so you can pause the action before you make your little wine and cheese run. Bon appetit.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
An all-new Simpsons Halloween special.
You can't kill.
He's undead, all right. Part of a full hour, 8, 7 Central tonight on Fox.
Back at the Dome in Indianapolis, Troy Aikman has put on the baseball cap. He's still got his helmet.
And I think it's just a test that he's taken to see, you know, at first, the first time he tried to stand up, he couldn't even stand up or walk. He had to go back and sit down. Now I think he's just trying to see if he can stand up for a while.
1st and 10 Colts. James gets a yard. I think Troy's coming back.
Well, I don't, you know, I mean, you can't tell it by this. I would say if the Cowboys got the ball right now in this state that he's in, he wouldn't come back. Now, if it's a little while and something else happens, you know, he might. But right now, he's not ready with that hat on and just stand. I mean, he's not throwing anything. He's not warming up his arm. I wouldn't think right now he would come back.
2nd and 8 for the Colts. Peyton Manning with Edgerrin James behind him. Manning drops it outside to James, who stops and let's go somewhere else. And he's cut down. Deion Sanders committed first.
You know, against a lot of teams, Pat, you'd be able to do that, and that could be a big play. But this is one thing that you can't do against the Cowboys is change your field and spend a lot of time going laterally. See, Deion Sanders finally gets him there. That's the end, and Deion took a kick in the head. That was the end of the play, but before that, Edgerrin James had run about 40 or 50 yards to get to that point.
3rd and 8, and it's throwing time for Peyton Manning. He goes back in the shotgun. Dilger on the move, and now he steps back beside Peyton. Manning chase, gets rid of it. James all the way down to the Cowboy 25. Kenny Wheaton finally got him.
And look at Peyton Manning. He's laughing because he has his own drill, Pat, and it's called a scramble drill. Yep. And he'll get a guy, he'll get Harrison, he'll get Edgerrin James, and he'll just go, let's go scramble drill. And he just does this. He just takes the ball, and then he just runs out to a side. Then he just has them take off and run. You see, they run pattern. And what his rule is, if he scrambles to your side, you go deep. If he scrambles away from you, you come across flat. And Edgerton James did that exactly. He started to him, and boom, he just went right up the field.
54 yards up the field he went.
A second-year guy and a first-year guy, and boy, is this going to be some offense. Yeah, we talk about how he does at practice, even before the game. He comes out here just in his T-shirt and his pants, and he's throwing here to Marvin Harrison. He just has him do it. And then he gets Edgerton James, you see, and he just works individual plays with these guys. Just things that are going to come up in the game plan, he goes over with them individually.
That's Kenny Wheaton, who's down for Dallas. Troy Aikman continues to walk around on the sideline.
And then, as I said, that drill of his, that scramble drill, is he just picks up a ball and he'll just get a guy and tell him, come on, scramble drill. And that pays off in the games because that's exactly what it was.
They know where to go when he gets in trouble.
And that was Kenny Wheaton, we see, making that tackle on Edgerton James.
And Wheaton's still down. There's Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin can't believe that this happened because in the first half they had this game under control.
Sure they did.
But they didn't go after it. They didn't put it away. They let him hang in there. They let him hang in there. They got conservative in their passing game, and then boom, this team, this Indianapolis Colts team just exploded on them.
Dallas getting very thin in the secondary. George Teague is already out. Kevin Mathis is out. Now Wheaton's out. Showing blitz. James cuts to the outside. Taken down.
Well, this guy sure has a feel for this game, doesn't he? Because, you know, he's not only doing this running, but he's also blocking, and he's also made some big plays like he did on that scramble, that third down scramble on the pass receiving. Look at these moves. I mean, he makes these moves, these stops and starts when he's going full speed. Well, this guy's a keeper.
He's got that lean that they talk about. All the coaches talk about he's got that good running back lean.
He's a guy that I bet when he was a kid in tag, I bet he was never it.
Here he is again. First down and more to the Cowboy 11, 12-yard line. Went to the University of Miami from Immokalee, Florida.
I think if you're from Immokalee, Florida, and you're a running back, you have to be a tough running back.
Yes, you do.
I don't think they make those fancy kind in Immokalee, Florida.
No.
Did you play in that league?
No, but I've been to Immokalee.
Did Lake City play Immokalee?
No. First and 10, the Colts. They lead 31-24. James again.
Boy, and strength he has, too.
Yep.
You know, if he gains, I think it's 8 more yards pass receiving, he'll have over 100 yards. Look, he has over 100 yards rushing already. If he gets 8 more, that'll give him 100 yards pass receiving. And if he does that, he would be the first guy in Colts history to ever do it.
Think back to the Colts history when they had Lenny Moore and Alan Amici and Tony Lorick and all those guys.
How did Lenny Moore not do it?
I was wondering that myself.
You would think Lenny Moore would be the guy.
2nd and 9. And the clock is running. Manning has it bounce through the hands of Edgerton James.
And that was the one that we saw Manning working with Edgerton James on in that pregame, that little tape we had. We just showed him. It was that pass right there that he had him out there. He's always done that with Marvin Harrison. Then he started bringing Edgerton James out. And Jim Mora has done a heck of a job with this club.
Indeed.
In his second year, he and Bill Polian, they're rebuilding the whole team, and the cornerstone is Peyton Manning.
Bill Polian did it in Carolina, and then he came here.
Yeah, and before that, he did it in Buffalo, and he's telling everyone to calm down, be quiet. It's our offense, he's saying.
The pass is incomplete.
Peyton Manning came right back with the same play.
Yep. Now here comes Vanderjagt again for the field goal attempt. That would put the Colts ahead by 10.
You know, we see Bill Polian up there, and we realize that this is the anniversary of the trade that brought Eric Dickerson to Indianapolis. Bill Polian at that time was in Buffalo. Yep. He got Cornelius Bennett, who was drafted by the Colts. He got him in Buffalo. The Rams got the draft choices. Troy Aikman got his hat on. But that was 13 years ago today that trade was made.
Seems like in many ways longer than that. And then again, it seems like it was just a week ago. 27-yard field goal is good. 34-24. The Colts by 10. Next Sunday, it's live bass fishing like you've never seen it before. See the top anglers in the world go for over $3.5 million in prize money in the Ranger Boats M1 Millennium Tournament. Bass fishing comes alive next Sunday on Fox, presented by Walmart. Check your local listing.
Yeah, you know, this is one of the great things. I mean, we got Halloween, we got our jack-o'-lantern, we got number 18. I know who he is. And hey, John Madden, how about some Colts in that all-Madden team? I'll guarantee you, as we speak, as we sit here, we got our own jack-o'-lanterns. We got them all up in here. I'll guarantee you that there will be some Colts on the all-Madden team this year. I mean, there's some players here that have really impressed me. I mean, not only the way they're playing today, but the way they practice, the way they act, the type of people they are.
Some young players.
Yeah, and you know, if you look at this Colt offense that we see explode here in the second half, the average experience is 2 years.
Back deep is Tucker. Kite this time doesn't kick it out of bounds and chases Tucker back into the end zone, where he downs it, and the Cowboys take over from there. Touchback. He's happy about it.
Well, he hadn't had one. You know, coming into this game, they hadn't had a touchback, so they celebrate touchbacks. And Troy Aikman is coming into the game now. That was Kite's second touchback today, but coming into this game, they hadn't had any, so that's the reason they're still celebrating them. But this has to be about 2 touchdowns now, or 2 scores. They got all their timeouts left. Now they need Troy Aikman, and they need Rocket Ismail.
And Aikman needs some time. Pass is to Rocket. That's a first down. We'd like to welcome those of you who just joined us to the Dome in Indianapolis, where the Colts lead the Cowboys by 10 points. The Cowboys at one time led 17-3. They broke on top, but Baltimore has hung in there, and the Cowboys have let them hang in there. Emmitt Smith out of bounds. Troy Aikman has just come back. Jason Garrett played the last offensive series for Dallas. And Aikman took a blow to the head, a hit to the head. He sat out a series, and now he's back.
Yeah, you see this is Jeff Burris. He sees it right there, puts his head down. And Jeff Burris coming on a corner blitz, goes helmet to helmet. Troy Aikman is just recovering from that hit now.
Aikman drops. Caught by Ismail. That'll be enough for a Cowboy first down. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director is Mike Roig. The broadcast associates Charles McDonnell and Mark Mata. Technical producers Bob Mueller. Pre-game show was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producers Bill Brown. Executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. First and 10 Cowboys. Aikman drops, blitz coming. Pass completed midfield to Ismail.
See, and the Cowboys have to go into some form of hurry up now. In fact, Troy Aikman has just taken a timeout. That'll be their first timeout. But they, with 3 minutes, this wouldn't normally be a time you say you have to hurry up. But when you need 2 scores, then 3 minutes becomes a hurry-up time frame. Because they have to get a score, then they're going to have to kick an onside kick and get the ball back. So now one thing that they can do is they only need 10 points. So I've always believed that you go for a tie first. So if they get in position and it's 4th down to kick a field goal, I think you kick the field goal. Then you go for the onside kick. Then you go for the touchdown. Then you go for a win in overtime. I mean, that's a way to play this game.
Dallas used 1 timeout. So it's 2nd and 7. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Aikman 12 out of 15 for a long time. He didn't have a pass attempt over 15 yards.
No, it has to be about Aikman now and about the passing game now. It can't be about running.
Aikman gets it out to Ernie Mills, and he's knocked backwards in a hurry by Jeff Burris.
Yeah, I don't know that, you know, when you need these scores in the second half, I don't think you can throw those none-yard passes. And I'm surprised that they even run a pattern that would be for none yards.
I don't know when those none-yard passes are good.
Yeah, I mean, the theory is that the guy's going to catch it and break tackle.
3rd and 6. Aikman steps up, dumps it over the middle.
Well, he better get a first down.
And he stepped out of bounds and stopped the clock with 2.5 minutes remaining, and maybe he got the first down.
I think he could have left it short, though. But it doesn't make any difference because the Cowboys will have to go for it here, even if it is 4th down. But I think just looking at the spot from here, I think he left it short.
Yeah, he is short. About a foot. Colt player down. Looks like number 90.
Mark Thomas is
Thomas.
number 90.
Yep. They have about a yard left. Cowboys have asked for a measurement, I believe.
Yeah, they should. Or Chris Warren should have known better than that because he needed the first down and he was running right at the sticks. And it looks like to me it's about a few chains here.
Colts by 10.
See right here, Troy Aikman ducks a pass rush. You see Mark Thomas right here got kicked in the head. That's what happened to him. And then Troy Aikman gets past the rush, throws it out here to Warren. Now watch Warren here. Should know where that first down marker is and be able to tell you. That's easy to say, I guess. Yeah, he was
trying.
Yeah, he was pushed in that direction.
He knew where he was trying to get to.
See right here, you'll see Mark Thomas as he goes down. You see right there, then he gets kicked in the head.
Let's quickly go to Los Angeles again for an update. And James Brown.
All right, Pat and John, take a look at Chris Carter here, catching his 2nd touchdown toss of the day. He is now over 11,000 receiving yards in his career, and Minnesota on top of Denver by 8. That in the 4th. Let's take it back to Indianapolis. Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, Kurt Warner and the NFC West leading Rams battle the surprising Lions, plus other regional action. Coverage begins an hour before kickoff of the pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. Right here in Indianapolis, the Colts lead. Cowboy ball. They trail by 10. It's 4th and about a foot. Thomas is still down.
You know, we talk about how the triplets for years. We talked about the Dallas Cowboys, but look at this triplet team of the Indianapolis Colts and how they've done today. Peyton Manning, 22 out of 34, 312 yards and a touchdown. Edgerrin James, 105 rushing yards, 92 receiving yards and a touchdown. Marvin Harrison, 6 yards, 6 receptions, 85 yards for a touchdown. Remember, the big one in that touchdown was against Deion Sanders. So they have their own form of triplets that are very young. I mean, Harrison is in his 4th year, Peyton Manning in his 2nd year, Edgerrin James in his 1st year. So they're not only here now, they're going to be here for a long time.
Well, the Cowboys dominated the first half. The Colts regrouped at the half. And let's look at some of their highlights in the second half.
Yeah, this is, we talked about Marvin Harrison being man-to-man on Deion Sanders. He just ran right by him. And Chad Bratsky makes a heck of a play there. I mean, he makes the rush. He gets Troy Aikman. He knocks him down. He knocks the ball out. And they get the ball on the goal line. And then Edgerrin James scores with it. And a big second half.
Let's again go back to Los Angeles for another update.
And we'll show you what New England is doing, surgically slicing up Arizona. Take a look at Bledsoe. He drills it here to Sean Jefferson. This turns out to be a 64-yard pass play. Yeah, the final, New England 27, Arizona 3. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
It makes Arizona now 2-5. Dallas, if this result stays like it is, Dallas would be 4-3. Washington 5-2. The Giants 5-3.
You know, they've just asked both teams to leave the field. The Colts are walking off the field on this side, and the Cowboys have just walked off the other side. They've cleared the field completely of players. Mark Thomas is still down, and again, with these situations, you know, just everyone is just praying for, you know, thoughts and prayers are with Mark Thomas that everything will be okay.
He got kicked in the head, and it's, I'm sure, familiar and very, very much in the mind of Michael Irvin, who just got the neck brace off. Both players offering prayers.
And on both sides, and that's, you know, it's a helpless thing, and you know that that's all that you can do, you know, is let the medical staff do their job, and they're so competent now, and they take every precaution that is possible in these situations. Michael Irvin remembers that it was just about a month ago,
right,
when he was in that same position in Philadelphia. They took him out and had a spine doctor right there. Took him to the spine center in Philadelphia.
They've rolled Thomas onto the stretcher. Bill Polian looking on.
This is a feeling that, you know, no matter what side you're on or what you feel about a team, you all have one feeling right now. And
such a helpless feeling. It all shows in Michael Irvin's eyes the concerns of everyone.
And his teammates, and you know, all they can do is think and pray for Mark Thomas. I mean, that's all that's on anyone's mind right now.
Think and pray and hope.
Reality sets in harshly. Everyone knows it's a tough game.
Yep.
Played by tough people, but
this has nothing to do with toughness.
No, that all goes away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That when, you know, when they are tough and it's a tough game, but when something like this happens, all that goes away, and there's only one important thing. That's the player that is down. And they do now. They said they keep everyone away from them, other than all those people out there are the medical staff, the doctors, the trainers, the emergency people. There's no players there. There's no coaches there.
Well, I think as this has evolved over the years, they've found that having too many people around, too many players, too many teammates, concerned teammates, sometimes it's better for them to be away from the incident.
And all you can do is be physically away from the incident. Because no matter how far you are physically, you're right down in every other way.
Mark Thomas has been playing 8 years.
Remember one year it was a playoff or championship game for the 49ers, and he had a big game. They needed a guy, and he came through and got a couple of big sacks. In fact, it could have been against the Dallas Cowboys.
Went to North Carolina State.
This is tough.
Tough to resume. The Cowboys needed about a foot for a first down, and that's about all they're going to get. So look at Mark Thomas. We pray for him. So the Cowboys got the first down. Aikman out of the shotgun. Aikman through the hands of Tucker.
And that was that skinny post again that we talked about earlier, that he ran it to Ernie Mills, and the timing was there. And Jason Tucker, World League player. In fact, Troy Aikman did a few games for Fox over there in Europe, NFL Europe, and the 2 games that he did, Jason Tucker played in those games, and Troy did him as an analyst for Fox, and he said he impressed him over there.
Yeah. Now he's a teammate. Here's Aikman. The ball's knocked out of Aikman's hands from behind, and the Cowboys fall on it.
That was Chad Bratsky again, I think. You know, Bratsky did it.
3rd and 16. Jim Mora done a whale of a job with the Indianapolis Colts. Aikman out of the shotgun. 3rd and 16. 3-man rush. Aikman outside to Warren. Chris Warren steps out of bounds, stops the clock.
Now the Cowboys have to be thinking here of just getting a first down, because this is going to be a 4th down play. So if they don't get a first down here, then anything else is academic. And then the Colts are just going to.
4th and 6. They blitz. Aikman is down. He pumped, pulled it back, and the pressure got him. Tony Blevins is number 26. And this one belongs to the Indianapolis Colts. Bill Polian, full of smiles.
Yeah, we talked about the job this defense did. Their defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, just bringing guys, and they're different guys all the time. And this time it's Tony Blevins, and you see Blevins is going to come from right here, and he just comes in and just sacks him. In fact, they brought 3 defensive backs on that play. And again, it was good coverage. It's man-to-man coverage with the blitz. They have everyone covered. You see on that side, there's no one to throw to. Here's what it looks like on this side. That's the side of the blitz. They blitz. They have a double there. Good man coverage. Their defense did their job in this second half. I'll say that.
James. Giving Indianapolis the win here at the AFC East standings. Miami 6-1, New England and Indianapolis 5-2, Buffalo 5-3, and the Jets 1-6.
You know, who has to be proud today is Peyton Manning's dad, Archie. Of course, all the dads, but he's here with his wife, Olivia. And Archie doesn't like to be a big part of these games.
No.
I mean, he says, this is Peyton time. This is Peyton's quarterbacking. This is his team. This isn't mine. And I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be a part of it. I just want to sit as a father and sit with my wife and enjoy the game and let Peyton have his day. And his other son, Eli, have his day. And Jim Mora, at 64 years old, having his day. He's the youngest 64-year-old guy that I know.
He is in great shape. The NFC East looks like this. Washington 5-2. The Giants, who won today in overtime, 5-3, 5-3. Dallas 4-3, Arizona 2-4, and Philadelphia 2-6.
Who would have thought that? Daniel Snyder has a meeting with Norv Turner after the game. He loses to Dallas, and then later, and then they come back and do that. I just hope he doesn't take credit for it.
Did you see how the Giants won in overtime?
Yeah. But like I said, that's a big old defensive lineman making a play.
Ball bounces up in the air to Michael Strahan, wasn't it?
It was Michael Strahan, yeah.
Who ran it in for a touchdown to give the Giants a victory over the Eagles in overtime. 3rd and 8.
Big Daddy Wilkinson for the Redskins. I think
88 yards.
80-some, yeah.
88 yards, yep.
Big old lineman day.
James.
Look at this guy.
Picking his way.
He's having fun out there today. That Cowboy offense sure didn't. I mean, they had control early and they fell into that trap, I think, of getting enamored with the run. Then they stayed with it. Then when they needed to pass, they couldn't get it. And Troy Aikman was sacked 5 times today. I mean, they took 5 sacks, and that's because they didn't threaten him with that pass, and they weren't aggressive with
Plus,
the pass.
the Colts got 2 scores in 11 seconds.
And one of them was a pass rush. Remember, that was Chad Bratzky did a heck of a job on that. There's no one out here. They didn't have anyone out here covering Wilkins. And then Deion Sanders came up. He could have thrown Terrence Wilkins. I think this second half that Peyton Manning had today in this Colt offense was a lesson.
Deion walking back now.
They're missing a gunner. They're missing a gunner, they said.
Yeah.
Well, they got their gunners in tight, is what they're doing. Their punt coverage is a tight punt coverage. So they don't have their gunners outside. That's why they're not out there.
Hunter Smith back to punt. Cowboys coming to block. Deion lets it bounce and goes into the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 20 with 38 seconds left.
And the fans are booing Deion. They said, we want to see it. Show us something now. You're down by 10 points, 35 seconds. Let's see it. And when Deion let it go,
Well, he brought the first one back and then was taken down by the kicker at the 2-yard line.
And I don't think he ever recovered from that.
I don't think he did either.
I really don't, because remember that play that Marvin Harrison got on.
Here's Aikman out of the shotgun. Drops it out to Chris Warren. In the second quarter, the Cowboys look so dominant, like so much in control, and then all of a sudden to come back and come behind like they did.
We sure as heck did in the second half.
Last play coming. Aikman throwing it as far as he can. And that's all of it. And we'll be back as the